Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Full Load episode number 30, the Full Load podcast, coming at you live from the Broken Glass Studio. I'm Jimmy Carpenter.
I'm Eric Mays.
Well, Merry Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. Today's special guest, we have Jefe, the comedian, in the room.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
All right, brother.
Glad you said Jefe and not El Jefe, otherwise federal agents would probably be kicking down this door right now.
They'd be coming in and catching us all, brother.
Give me that whiskey, and I would know.
Yeah. Well, Merry Christmas, Eric.
Hey, Merry Christmas, Jimmy, man.
Merry Christmas, Jefe.
Thank you guys. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you for having me on today. It's heard good things about you guys, and it's glad to finally sit down here and talk to y'all.
I appreciate that, man.
Oh, man, very much so, man.
So, Merry Christmas, Eric.
Man.
Behind you, I got you a little Christmas present, man. Something you've been wanting for a little while to try.
No, sir, it's not behind you.
Oh, you already drinking on it,
It's
brother.
already
Look at
right
that.
here, man.
Merry Christmas, man.
That's it, man. Hey, you did all right, man. So this is what we've been wanting. So it tastes pretty good. So same thing, we got yours too, man. So yours was out of stock.
Yeah, I know. But hey, this stuff right here is
But
pretty
hey, they
smooth.
said this is the next
Elijah Craig.
best thing.
Look at that. Merry Christmas, man. I like it.
That is it, man. So what you drinking on over there, Jefe?
I got some TX bourbon whiskey. It's a good brand, local here to Texas. I got put onto this brand when I was a bartender.
Oh, okay.
That's where I would fake different accents and try comedy gigs on unsuspecting people,
Well,
so.
cheers, gentlemen.
Yes.
There you go,
Yes,
man. There you go.
Salud.
Salute. So, what's been going on with you, man? You're a comedian locally here in Wichita Falls. You perform mostly at the Deep End, am I correct?
Yeah, I said that Deep End is one of the original places that kind of gave every comedian or inspiring comedian a chance to get on stage and put their pen to the test, I do travel a bit, though. Go out to Keller, Texas, to this nice brewery called Shannon's.
Mm-hmm.
Really dope, close-knit environment. It's like kind of like this room, but with a bunch of snobby rich white people. So it's great. To like make me laugh, or else I'm gonna cancel your trust fund type stuff. Been to Dallas, yeah. Gone to Austin. Austin was awesome. I will say this: me and the guys took a trip down. Gorb Gorbinson, you've had him on here before. We went down to Austin. And it was a different experience out there. A lot of people were doing their stand-up. And there was a lady there who was like, I thought she was joking when she said this, but she goes, yeah, so I'm a streetwalker, and I'm doing comedy. And see, I'm so caught up in Game of Thrones. I was like, is a streetwalker like one of those creatures from Game of Thrones or The Walking Dead? Like, what's she mean by that? And then it registered later. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so she's doing better than my comedy career, at least. She's at least getting some money somehow, so...
Yeah.
Traveling around different places. I wouldn't say necessarily a comedian, though. More of like a businessman who thinks he's funny. And it seems to work sometimes. But I do enjoy the Deep End. We got a show tonight at 9. And I think it's going to be great. We got some good comedians from different backgrounds. I think that's key. Nowadays you don't want the... like Larry the Cable Guy was back in 2000s. So... it's good to have diversity, I think, in your comedy group and everything. But yeah, just sticking around doing that stuff lately. What about you guys? What you guys been up to?
Oh man, just working all the time. We finally got our little Merry Christmas break over the weekend, and we kind of enjoyed ourselves.
Oh yeah, very much so, man. And like I said, let's not forget, I think the good thing is about, the holidays is being with the family, watching the kids open up stuff. I got 2 older ones and then my young one. But I tell you this though, man, my middle child, man, she gave us going to the Dallas Mavericks game, man. She got the family Mavericks tickets, basketball tickets. So, man, I tell you, man, it was a good Christmas, man. Good Christmas, I must say, man. So,
what's the Mavericks doing this year? They doing pretty good?
Oh yeah, man. They doing good. They'll make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I haven't followed the Mavericks since Dirk Nowitzki, I think.
Oh man, they got you missing. They got
low-key Spurs, but I grew up during the Spurs dynasty. But Mavericks would go and see them play.
Yeah,
it was good. It's always a good atmosphere out there at basketball games.
Oh yeah, well I think just because it's a hop, skip, and jump. Even we all we went to a couple of Oklahoma Thunder games. I mean, because it's right we were in the middle, so always have have a good time, man. So So other than that, that's pretty much it, man. Just hanging out and then ready to cook some steaks later on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I mean, can't go wrong with that, man.
Yeah, we had our Christmas dinner yesterday over at my daughter's house, so pretty good little Christmas. What about you, man? Did you have Christmas yet?
Man, yes and no. My Christmas is kind of weird. Ever since I kind of like left the house, my father's still in the military, so they travel a lot. My brother recently moved down to San Antonio, but he's been here the last 10 years, and we really keep it simple. We kind of got past the whole ham and turkey, mainly because our uncle caught the house on fire one year with that turkey, so it leaves a bad taste in everyone's mouth.
Especially if you eat the bad turkey.
Yeah,
the
it was
turkey.
burnt. It was crisp.
What did you do? A deep fry?
Yeah, and it was frozen. Like, common sense, but that ain't common nowadays. But no, I hang out with my friends. My girlfriend makes some awesome pies, so I'm usually picking out on the leftovers. That's why I got that gym membership coming up in January.
What exactly goes into an awesome pie? I heard of apple pie.
So she made a coconut cream pie recently.
Yeah.
And she makes it all from scratch, like the batter. She makes like vegan pies, which I didn't even know that existed. But apparently if you kill enough almonds and you make flour out of them, you can get that. But I think it's just like, you have relatives or family that cooks, and you can tell the difference when they cook and someone else who may cook. It's just like the love and the attention that goes into it. It's almost like a craft. So I would say that qualifies as like a delicious pie,
Yeah.
Or it could have booze in it. Either one works.
I like a good old pecan pie.
Oh, yeah.
She makes a good pecan. You know what? Remind me if she's got some. She accidentally burns one every time.
Yeah.
There might be a spare.
Hey, yes, I
that's
love
stuff.
it, man. Hey, I had a big one today, man. Well, last night. Got a big old slice when I got back to the house, man. But it's kind of funny. So how do you pronounce it, man? You use it pecan or pecan?
That's like Caribbean and Caribbean. It just depends on in what context it is. So
Potato or potato.
Yeah.
So
no, not necessarily. I won't say potato. But it's like when you say, like, did you have Caribbean jerk, or do you say Pirates of the Caribbean? Like, it's like, do you write your fours as the sharp way, or do you leave it open? I guess it depends on my mood, or where I'm at. If I want to blend in Mississippi, I might say pecan a little more than piquant.
Right.
So it just depends on where you at.
Yeah.
So you were born and raised here in Wichita Falls?
No.
Tell us about it.
I'm a nomad. It's funny, every time I get asked that question, I have to say I'm from everywhere. I grew up, to a military family, so my dad moved a lot in the early 90s and 2000s. So, like, every 2 years I moved. So, I lived in, like, Missouri, North Dakota, Wyoming, Texas, Mississippi, Washington, D.C., England. I graduated, so I graduated school in England. And I'll be honest with you, like, I know why they only have 3 famous chefs in England, because those are the only 3 guys who season their food.
Wow.
Like, they don't. That's another topic for another day.
Just all bland food over there?
Oh, man. You ever like boil a potato and just beat it with a mallet and serve it to someone?
Wow.
That's it. Fish and chips is good, but it's because it's fried, and the chips are fries, and lemonade is Sprite. Like, so a lot of the language is different there, but. No, we cooked at home.
Yeah.
It was cheaper, better,
Yeah, I gotta have salt and pepper and all kinds of flavoring in my food. I mean, that's just
at least throw some rosemary, thyme, or some cumin if you're gonna make some beef,
Sure.
So you saying they had hospital food up there? Huh?
Yeah, hospital food's better, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's
like, because they'll joke, they'll say, "Hey, we got some of the best restaurants in the world." I'm like, notice how they're all from other countries.
That's what they mean.
Yeah. They don't have the best food in the world. They just can afford to pay everyone to come there and serve it. But after England, though, I joined the military and got stationed in Panama City, Florida, which is wild. It's I'm sure you guys have heard the horror stories of Florida. They're not that bad. Most people will ask you for a cigarette before they say hello on the street, though. So, like, just mannerisms, But then after Florida, let me backtrack a little. While I lived in Florida, I ran a tattoo shop. So I would say Florida's like my home as an adult. You know, I spent like 8 to 9 years there. I made family outside of family. Had many business ventures, some successful, some that failed, some that just looked good on paper. You know, so when I moved here, I finally linked up with my brother after like 5-6 years. Like, my family doesn't really see each other during the holidays or in general, just because everyone's busy with their own life. You know, we still love each other dearly, but that traditional sense of like gathering around the table, it's a phone call away, and then, you know, we'll meet up throughout the rest of the year for events like that. But
Sure.
I will say Wichita Falls has become kind of like a secondary home. You find the diamonds in this town, and you can also find the coals. But if you know where the diamonds are, you can hang out with them, and you'll find like-minded people here, which I think is great for a small city. So
Yeah, that's cool. Hell yeah.
what about you guys? You guys live here forever?
No, I was actually born and raised in Vernon,
Okay.
Texas,
Yeah.
and moved up here back in '99. I married my wife, moved up here in '99. Been here ever since.
Yeah.
So,
I did notice that if you want to be left alone, you can be left alone in this town.
Mhm.
But if you want to be known, you can be known.
oh, easily.
yeah.
Like, you can disappear or you can be everywhere,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is nice.
Yeah.
On your end though, what about?
Oh man, me, I just like I said, born in Odessa, Texas, man. You
Okay.
know, so
Texas.
Yeah, oh, Texas.
Texas every day.
Oh, that's it, man. But like I said, it is what it is. But other than that, man, been here. I guess been in Wichita, what, 25 years, man. So ain't call it home, man. So other than that, that was that, man. And then, man, raised the kids here and just being an entrepreneur, man. You know, trying to get my hands into everything, man. And me and Jimmy been knowing each other for what, shit, at least about 18, 20 years. So, man.
Yeah, at least 20.
Yeah.
It's always good to have old friends like that. I can say that's a luxury I don't have. My oldest friend is my brother, mainly because he had to come along with me. But
Yeah.
friends that I've had like maybe 8 to 10 year relationship with, you know, it's just like I could call him today and it would be like I just spoke to him yesterday, even though, you know, so.
Yeah, isn't that weird how that goes hand in hand? Like, some of the guys can do that. I think some women can't. Like, I cannot talk to a guy for, let's say, you know, a couple years, but then when we meet up, it's like we never left.
Yeah, exactly.
I think some women can't do that. You know, be like, man, how do you have talk? They got to talk every day, man. I guess some males, we don't have to talk every day to get along. I mean, you know, we can pick right back up like riding a bike.
I think women are more selective in their friendships than most men. They probably rely. I can't speak because I'm not a woman, but I do hang around a lot of ladies and get their opinions, and you know, I'm an unofficial street therapist. You know, I give them advice. You know, they're like, "Hey, my baby daddy wants to get back with me when I ask him for child support. Does he want to get back with me?" And I'm like, "No, he doesn't. He's just lying to you." But I'm going to tell you that because I'm your good friend. You know, I'm not going to lie to you.
He want to get back because he's trying to save his pockets.
She's like, "Hey, can you pay child support? Hey, you want to get back together?" No, girl, run. What are you doing?
Yeah, classic, man. I can see that happening.
Yeah, that's
yeah, man.
it's crazy out there. But
So you said you were a tattoo artist, right? Or ran one?
I'm not going to say I'm a tattoo artist. I ran a tattoo shop with my best friend. Kind of like if you guys had started a tattoo shop and Jimmy was the artist.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, listen.
Hey,
boy Del
did you see his drawing, man, on our last couple episodes ago, man? Stick figures.
Hey, listen, it's hard to draw stick figures. Man. You gotta be within the circle and the lines, man. It's crazy out
you
there.
said that's that new tattoo. That's that new ink. That's that new ink.
It's that
right
2023
Yeah.
ink. Yes, I ran a tattoo shop for about from 2014, legally 2014. We'll say doing like the house tattoo bit probably started in like 2013. It was an awesome experience to basically manage and run a tattoo shop with your best friend and be the person who answers the clientele, sets up designs. Like, I know how to tattoo, it's just it doesn't look like my artwork, so I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, I'm an artist, because I'm not comfortable with it myself. And I think that's if you take that approach to life, you'll actually put out great work because you'll never be complacent. But it was awesome. There was a lot of weird situations, though. I learned a lot about people and human nature. There's like this big buff guy, like your size, right? Comes in. He's like, "Hey, I want a death before dishonor tattooed on my arm. I'm about to join the Marines."
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I should have probably never said, "Yeah, let's do that," because you're gonna get a death before dishonor tattoo before you join the Marines, not after you made it. Well, man, he came in on a chopper, big beard, big dude, man. Got to DEA on his arm from death, and he pissed the chair.
What?
He pissed the chair. Then find out he's 18. That beard, I tell you what, a good beard will demand respect. But when you pee in my chair, you got to go, bro. Like,
right.
You gotta go. I had a lady want a tramp stamp of her baby daddy's name, and she came with her friend. And like, hey, I'm all for it. You know, do what you want to do, but at least make sure his name is spelled correctly, because they didn't. Like, she was like, no, it's Marquise. No, it's Marcus. No, his name's Marquise. And I'm like, that would be $75. You know, like, hey, I'm a tattoo artist, not a spell checker. Like, if you say you want this tattooed on your body, that's what you're getting. So when people come in, they get those like Chinese symbols and it says chicken noodle soup. Listen, I don't speak Chinese, but I'm gonna tattoo this on you. You know?
Because that's what you wanted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And most times, it's like with any business, though. The more you do business, the more you get clientele that cares. The more you get people who want to invest in something, whether it's ink or their brand. So it's just a learning experience. Tattoos is great, though. If you ever want to get some tattoos, have me be your travel guide. I'll go and vet all these shops out for you. You know, I know all the right questions to ask, because there are good tattoo artists out there that care. But like in any industry, though, there are people who just do it for the money and they don't necessarily care about the art itself. So,
right.
Fortunately for this town, there's a lot of great artists. I just cannot remember their names right now because this whiskey is hitting me. But yeah, hey, when I remember, I'll shout them out. But
hey, speaking of this, man, you know, we've been wanting to talk about this, man. Since you're talking about tattoos, and it came up to me on, I was watching, I think it's Inked off of TV. I think that's what it is. Well, I'm going to go ahead and ask you, you remember the movie Tombstone?
I'm a 90s baby, but not that.
Okay, so you remember the phrase that Doc Holliday say, "I'll be your huckleberry."
And you be my fan?
Yes. So, yeah, but what do you hear when he say, "I'll be your"? Is he saying huckleberry? I'll be your huckleberry?
I'm going to be honest, I skipped that whole
Sawyer
lesson in school, and also I grew up sheltered, bro. I couldn't watch a lot of movies.
I think he said, well, "I'll be your huckleberry."
Well, see, the deal is that a lot of people say he's saying, "I'll be your huckleberry," and so the people came in with that tattooed on them.
Oh.
Well, it was the wrong thing. Oh. So the artist did a whole spill on it. He's not saying huckleberry.
Yeah.
So back in the day, with the casket, the things that that the pallbearers hold on the casket is called a huckle.
Oh, he was being a
so then he's saying, "I'll be your huckleberry."
Oh.
Not huckleberry.
That's
so a lot of people didn't get that, and then because I thought the same thing. I thought he was saying huckleberry.
So the bars on the casket is a huckle.
Yeah, that's what they call huckle to hold, and then the barrier. Instead of pallbearer, I'll be a huckleberry.
See, that would have passed me if you had asked for a tattoo of that. I would have been like, okay, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it comes back to pop culture knowledge for a lot of artists, and
right.
Like they said, it's Luke. I am your father. It was apparently never that. It was apparently, I'm your father, right? That goes into the Mandela effect, but that's a...
Hold on, didn't he did say, "I'm your father," didn't he?
There's people who say he said Luke first.
He did say Luke. Didn't he say
that's
Luke?
what I thought.
You Star Wars,
yeah,
right?
he said, "Luke, I am your father."
We're going to go down this rabbit hole, John. But look it up, and it'll tell you that that's not true. They'll say it's the Mandela effect, and that's conspiracy theorists, everybody out there. What I think it is I think Google's just fucking with us in our mental state by like changing information on the internet. Like, nah, he said huckleberry, right?
Yeah.
And like,
no, so this is fascinating. So they're saying that he didn't say Luke. that we're saying that he just said,
Yeah,
I'm
that
your
we
father.
collectively just said, Luke,
Yeah,
I'm
we
your
probably
father.
did.
Rather
You know,
than
because he was
actual
breathing
one.
in that mouth.
Yeah.
You know, and probably we thought that he probably said Luke.
It's like a CPAP machine for
Yeah.
people with sleep apnea.
Yeah.
So I get
So
it.
he may say,
Like, baby, whatever I said in my sleep was a lie. I promise you. That was the machine talking.
Hey, speaking of that, man, I know we jumping all over the place, but one of our assistant coaches, man, he had a CPAP machine, and he had the old one, like I said, back in the day, man. I remember we was going to the tournament, and he brought that damn thing out because we all stayed in the coaches stayed in the same room. He brought that shit out, man. I was like, man, what in the hell is that? And then I seen all that contraption with the wires, but now I think they got the new model now.
Mm-hmm.
But I was looking at him like, dude, how do you sleep with that? I guess you just sleep on your back, man. Can't turn. Oh, I guess you can't turn over to your side.
I'm going to figure that out here shortly because I'm actually getting one. I have sleep apnea.
So I guess you pretty much getting a new one, though.
Yeah, because it took enough time for my current girlfriend and my exes to tell me, like, hey, you stop breathing in your sleep, to be like, are you sure it's not because you're choking me? Or, like... So I got checked out. Yeah, I definitely got sleep apnea.
So what they do? They did
I guess it opens your airwaves.
I'm talking about when they did the test. You have to go in and put you to sleep.
Bro, it's so cool nowadays. So back 10 years ago when I did the military testing, they have you lay on your back and strap you up like your Darth Vader, Anakin after Mustafar when he's all chopped up and now they give you what's called the Night Owl, and I'm not sponsored by them, but it's pretty awesome. You put it on your finger. You get the app and it records everything for you, and then it sends the results to the doctor that wants to do the analysis.
So you don't have to go in there and do the lab and go to sleep while everybody's looking at you.
Yeah, and also I think it works better when you do it at home because you're in your natural environment.
Yeah.
And I swear those pillows be nicer at the establishment than they do in my house too. It's like you're gonna get a good night's rest. You're not getting this, and it's like, no, I'm gonna sleep like shit. I promise you. But,
so you took it, and then they said, hey man, you were prone to sleep apnea.
No, I have like severe sleep apnea. It's cool. I just stop breathing for like 5 seconds every time, but I still get it done. They say once you get the machine though, you'll feel like 100%, which I can't wait, because if I'm doing everything now off of this level of energy that I'm doing, what's going to happen when I'm at the next level? Like, I'll probably be unstoppable. You'd be like, Jeff turned into David Goggins and just started running 10 miles. Like,
there you go.
Man,
hey, who knows?
That dude is a beast.
But see, but speaking of that, man, you know the backstory of his story.
He used to be like 330 pounds.
Yeah, and then with knee pains, and he was born with a lot of people thought that he's born with pain, and he used to get us up and do it. I mean, his knees was all messed up, and it wasn't from the 300 pounds. He was like, I was born with this disease, but what am I gonna do? Cry about it? He said, no, I had to get up and I start running. So his mindset to everybody,
that very few people have. I would say that's the Mamba mindset that Kobe Bryant had.
Oh yeah.
That I think David Goggin has, and it's an inspiration, because at the end of the day, we kind of want to complain about our lives, or I used to in the past when I was in a negative mindset. But as you get older and you kind of learn things, you adjust from that. But when I was in my negative mindset, it was an excuse for everything. What David Goggins shows is like, hey, bro, it's up here, man, and that's nice to know, because it's like, hey, if he can go from being 330 pounds to being a shredded dude who literally is screaming at Joe Rogan, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of determination and willpower. I see.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And what is the whole point about complaining about stuff?
Right.
I know I get slack on this, and I tell a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, Eric, I'm not built or wired like you are," and I'm like, dude, complaining is not going to get you anything. I'm not going to complain, or I'm not going to sit here and tell my kids when they're growing up. And I know everybody's household is different. Mm-hmm. For me to sit here and say, hey, you forgot to take your trash out. Hey, you forgot to make your bed. To me, that's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in there and knock it out and be done with it. And it's a waste of my time. I get stuff done. I'm not going to complain about it. And I think that's what a lot of people, and I think that's what, in 2023, I think we need to get these superstitions out here, whatever it's going to be. To me, if you got that same New Year's resolution, which I guarantee you, 99.99% is people saying they're going to lose weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's going to be fine, but I guarantee you that's fine to January 1st. Let's say December 31st at midnight, January 1st, until Valentine's 14th.
Yeah. Hey, check it out.
And then it's over with. Valentine's, after Valentine's, because everybody's saying, hey, I got to take my significant other out to the restaurant and eat. You're off your plan. Yep. So what I hate is the gyms will be all full January 1st. And it's like nobody can get on the machine. By February, it's
how
done.
gyms make their money, though. But yeah,
I'm under a fitness protection plan. So
yeah. I will say this. One thing that's helped me going into the new year, and a plan that I've kind of implemented the last 3 years of my life, has been what I live life in the 90-day plan. What that is I give myself 3 months to do goals that are obtainable, whether it's get this many clients, run this amount, do stuff to better myself every day. That works for me because I block schedule stuff out as far as like, okay, am I going to do something with coffee, tattoos, film, art, comedy? That's a lot of stuff when you look at it as one whole, but when you break it all down into segments and you put a 90-day plan to it, it's very obtainable. And that's been one thing that's really helped me move forward. So like I still get people putting New Year's resolutions or on everything, but you could start today and just do a 90-day, you know, rather than waiting to the new year. Because I'm guilty. All these things that I'm saying I've done at one point, and that's why I address them now as like, hey, just move in increments, you know, baby steps. You know, you don't expect a baby to be born and run. It's not a giraffe. It's a human being. It's going to walk. So business and ideas have to culminate the... man, I'm not even saying that word right. Move on.
Whiskey talk.
Whiskey talking.
Whiskey talk.
Texas whiskey.
This Dak Daniels. Let that all come together and just go from there. It's a lot simpler to move that way, you know. And be nice to yourself. Shit. Like, you don't have to tell yourself you're a piece of shit every day. You already know it. Just do better the next day, you know. Yeah.
But check this out. We're going to get into a segue here. Back when you were tattooing,
yes. Did
you ever have somebody come in naked wanting them to tattoo their junk? Woman, whatever.
Funny. Thank you for reminding me of my past trauma. Yes, not naked. They didn't come in naked. They
well,
get
of
naked,
course, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Came in.
So when the women got naked, it wasn't an issue, mainly because I don't view you as being naked as sexual advances. It's business to me.
Sure.
So, like, if I see titties, I'm going to be like, cool, titties. Let's just, you know, tattoo this. I did have a guy who I'm pretty sure was on drugs because, in my defense, I would have to be on drugs to ask for this tattoo.
Right.
Comes in and he wants a bumblebee tattoo. I'm like, all right. Like, the Transformer, he's like, no, just a little bumblebee. I don't think, like, the Transformer will fit. I'm like, all right, what's he mean by that? Whatever. I was like, all right, so little bumblebee. He goes, cool. You're going to tattoo this on the tip of my dick, right?
Oh, shit. What?
All right, gentlemen, first of all, I got to explain something. In order for you to tattoo a penis, not that you should ever fall in this situation or have anything in your hands remotely like this, it has to be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but here's the thing. I'm not gating you hard. So you either got a self-service or bring a fluffer. He brought a fluffer.
Was it a he or a she?
It was a she.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least I think so.
Yeah.
I didn't question too much. I kind of just like, hey, go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much you know how much we charged that guy for maybe?
Dude, listen.
First of all, I didn't tattoo his dick. My friend did. I just negotiated the price. Okay, $1,000.
I would have been that.
Yeah. But thankfully, it didn't get any weirder than that. It was literally just him making the face the whole time and then getting out. I've had women who've wanted their buttholes tattooed.
Yeah, I hear a lot of that.
Yeah, you know, women can get away with it, men. No, dog.
But no. I don't. My thinking is, what is what is going through your head when you want something like that tattoo, especially like the dude? Like, I don't know.
Drugs.
Has to be, man.
I mean, I've been sober for most of my life, and I can say not once have I thought, let's put like a fucking freckle on my dick or something like that.
That don't make sense, man.
Like, then again, I understand that piercings, like some people get piercings there, and it helps with the feeling and pleasure and all that.
Yeah.
But a tattoo, like, like you got, and here's the thing, the dude had so much space on his body, like on the rest of his body, that I was like, why don't you just get the bumblebee on your hand, dude? No. Tip of my dick, because it's sweet like honey. I was like, I didn't need to know all that, like, could have kept that to yourself.
Man!
It's going to cost you $1,500 now for that tattoo.
Did you ever have to shave their junk?
No, everyone shaves themselves. Liability issues. You don't want to shave someone and nick them, because people are always reaching for. I had one girl. Hey, why'd you charge me $125 for this tattoo, and my friend got the same one, but you only charged her $60? Like, first of all, you got the same tattoo as your friend. How original. Like, not even at the same time. Just, you saw it, you liked it. She spent over $2,000 here at this shop. You spent $120. Why do you think I gave it to her for $60?
Exactly.
So.
Well, we're gonna segue right into that. I mean, since people have to shave their junk before they come into the tattoo office, why not use Manscaped? That's right. The Full Load Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. Tell them a little bit about it, Eric.
Hey, man, use our promo code TheFullLoad, to get 20% off their products, man. All their products, like I said, man, they're great. They're sponsored us, and then, like I said, hell, if you want deodorant for your balls, we have deodorant for your balls, man. So
check this out, man. I used their lawnmower 4.0.
Oh yeah.
I used that last night. It's got the ceramic blade. I shaved my nuts and everything. Didn't cut my wiener. Didn't scratch my wiener and nothing. I mean, it just went right through the hair. It's water resistant. I mean, you can use it in the shower. And the cool thing about it is, you can actually, it's got a built-in LED light, so you can see what you're doing down there. And I actually shaved under my underarms. You don't have to just use it for balls. You use it on your chest area, your back area, your balls, of course. Your balls are going to thank you for it. Also, they got cologne on their website, too. I happen to got a bottle here. Man, I'll tell you what. Smell that, man.
Oh, man. Good scent.
That, they got two different versions. That version right there, it's a kind of a lavender scent for the guys and everything. Smells really, really good. They got the weed whacker, nose and ear trimmer. So, I mean, dude, do your balls a favor and get Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, get 20% off plus free shipping by simply typing in the full load in the code section, and it's going to give you 20% off, guys. Can't beat that.
Yes.
So that would have been helpful back at the tattoo shop, man.
Oh man, there you go.
What, man.
LED lights, holy cow.
Hey, it's the whole nine, man. So
yeah.
So leading into, so what else? I mean, you ran a tattoo shop, and then, man, because you're very interesting, man. You know, we got to know you, because really, man, you came out with another logo for us, man, and you do more than just running a tattoo shop, man. So tell us a little bit more about your other businesses.
I've always kind of gotten involved in the things I'm interested in. So tattoos, coffee. Coffee was just, I like coffee, so I like to learn where everything's from. Ran a shop for a bit, and just learning people and like the habits of interactions with people. One reason I'm really good with like talking to people is from moving around, doing those different businesses. But to get into shirts and how I kind of got into that, I've always been an artist. I was that kid in school. Y'all know that one guy who took art class every year, right? Every year. That was me. I've always enjoyed doing art, whether it's black and gray mechanical pencil drawing or it's a oil painting. I've enjoyed it, and I've always strived to draw better. Like it's something that you can actually see progress in. I used to draw a picture of Bob Marley, and then
cool.
yeah, every year I draw a picture of Bob Marley just to see if I've gotten better because it's just a normal practice for me. I enjoy doing it, and a lot of designs come from that. I had a lot of funny designs back in the day, and I would go to these shirt companies, and I love screen print, I love DTG, sublimation, like I know all the areas. At the time, though, I was getting a lot of my beautiful work dubbed down because of screen printing and the multiple colors you have to use. Not shitting on screen printing, it's just for me with my artwork. It's better if I have like a heat transfer so I can get all the colors printed on there. So I got tired of going to companies and like paying out the butt for stuff, not being able to get necessarily what I wanted. So I invested and got my first machine on my 25th birthday, and thank God my friends were happy because I've been talking about that for like 3 years. Like, hey, I'm gonna get a shirt. You know that one friend who's got a goal and they keep talking about it, right? I just didn't want to be the guy who talked about it and didn't have anything done with it. So a lot of my philosophy is, talk about it, be about it. Like if I talk about it, it's because I'm serious about it and I have a little knowledge. I'm not gonna talk about stuff I don't know necessarily, but I'm willing to listen and learn.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I made shirts for like some upcoming musicians, my local diners, just networking how I normally do, and having the tattoo shop helped. So a lot of times people would get merch done. Um, that went pretty well. It's just the one issue I had with my business, and I think as people who are trying to do business in the future need to learn from this, is I was spending the money I was making from my business and not putting it back into it originally, which is just a big no-no. In the long run, it leaves you open for situations where you have one client who wants a return, or they do something that could hinder your process, then that could be detrimental to your business, So, learning to put money back and paying myself out of what I make was tough at first because I like to live nice. I ain't gonna lie. Like I like getting the lobster steak and surf and turf plate.
Tomahawk steak.
Not yet. We'll get there. If this comedian bit pops off, I'll get some tomahawks. But, yeah, it's just like a process of learning, trial and error, failing and trying again. I tried doing this trash can cleaning business, where like every week y'all would put your trash cans out and I'd come by and spray them, and I'd respray your curbs. But no one in Wichita Falls does that. But I go out to Dallas and someone's doing that, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm on the right wavelength of
just not
like
the right
thinking.
Market. Yeah.
Not the right capital at the time. It's like $56,000 to get one of those trucks if you want to do it big level.
Yeah.
But when you got like 10,000 houses you're doing for $20, it can pay for itself. And a lot of that is learning your market. So like after tattoos and t-shirts, so Hurricane Michael, a lot of people don't know about this actually. Google it, you guys, if you're on it. Hurricane Michael was, I guess, the first Category 5 hurricane in recent years since like Andrews. Don't quote me on that. Came out to Panama City, Florida, and wiped everything out. Right.
Oh, yeah.
I was already down here in Texas visiting my brother, so a lot of my equipment was destroyed. Like 3 years worth of me kind of like investing in myself and living the good life, and it got destroyed, man. It was kind of heartbreaking. To be honest, I usually don't have a possessive nature towards material things, but that hurt because that was kind of how I identified myself. At the end of the day, I'm just a human being who loves to do what he likes doing.
Sure.
But I have a reputation that I think is very important. Being a man of your word and doing business that elevates other people is essentially what you need to do in life when it comes to that.
Oh yeah, man. That's one thing I was going to ask you, man. Like, cause you've been through it. Unfortunately, man, I haven't been through anything like this. Knock on wood. But what is it? I guess from water heater that busted, it flooded a couple of when me and Jimmy had our satellite business and home theater business. But the insurance paid me back for my equipment.
Yeah.
But that was just like, a couple drills and a couple DVRs and receivers and stuff like that. But going through a hurricane and losing everything, I mean, the house demolished. I guess I'm assuming.
Thankfully, I mean, stuff was destroyed and demolished, but we were blessed. My friend that had the house that we ran the business out of, only that part where my equipment got destroyed, nothing else, which was good, because that's the old house of his dad's house, old military vet. So and it was right there by the water. You would expect it to be demolished, but I guess just lucky that day. I didn't have insurance either. That was the biggest thing. Oh God, insurance. Hey, listen, if you guys get an ad for insurance, have me be the spokesperson. I didn't insure my stuff. It's all gone.
Let me tell you something about insurance. If you ever get your car broken into out in the open somewhere, like at Walmart, this, that, and the other, sweep up the glass, bring it home, let your home insurance take care of it, especially if you got equipment that was stolen out of your truck. They won't do nothing but insure your window that was broken. They will not give you loss. The valuable.
Why do you even pay for it then?
Exactly.
That's my question.
Exactly.
I know why. I know the system, but
it's like
it's
one
not
of those
for our benefit.
Yeah, it's not exactly. It's not. It's one of those deals where you don't use it often, but then when something does happen, then you need it. It's crazy.
Hassle.
You can go 20 years of using it, or paying that bill, and then at one time, disaster comes. You're like, damn it! But you gotta have it, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, because to not have it still sucks.
Yeah.
It's just like a necessary evil or tax that you have to pay.
And even if some of our listeners don't know, maybe, and I'm just saying this, I'm not assuming that everybody know. Even if you renting, you still can get renter's insurance.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So that's always, you don't have to be a homeowner or vice versa, man. So if you're renting, you can always get renter's insurance because that's out there. Maybe for the ones that don't know. So just to let y'all know that's
a lot of information that you or myself or we would all think is common. It's not necessarily common all the time. And that goes across all spectrums. In the military, that was common. A lot of guys get out of the military and they don't know they got a VA loan, that they can get a home, that they can claim disability. So a lot of knowledge, especially with the way social media is nowadays, a lot of that stuff gets swept under the rug, I enjoy those TikToks that pop up with like, hey, you want to fix your credit score?
There you go.
Like, hell yeah, dude.
Hey, ApexCredit.com. Hey, they're not even
from a
sponsored
420 to a 720.
There
Let's
you
do
go.
this, man.
Hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break real quick. We'll be right back, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. So, is that going to catch on to that? Dude.
We're still on YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Hi, behind the scenes.
You get behind the scenes, YouTube.
Are you guys going to turn these into shorts and do those? Because those are really lucrative on Facebook now. Yeah, shorts. You have your shorts, which is like your highlight clips of the podcast.
Yeah.
And then you have your actual podcast on your main page. So people who want to watch it fully through can watch it. But shorts is
clicks.
That's what I do for my brother's LED prop business. Really, you guys think I'm awesome. My brother is probably the pinnacle.
I've seen a lot of those short reels now on YouTube where
they're paying. They're paying because they're trying to compete with Netflix.
Yeah.
Guys, if you like our YouTube video, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We love you guys. Always like, subscribe. And check out manscaped.com. Use the promo code TheFullLow for 20% off.
I'm going to borrow that. Go see my girlfriend. See if she can
spray a little bit, man. That shit smells good, brother.
It does. It does. It smells.
I'm surprised, man.
They got deodorant. They got 2 different styles of cologne.
It doesn't smell like that old musty stuff that you get from like PacSun. It's like
musk or what did we say?
That's like that reminds me of Clinique's brand. Like just a nice, just a good quality smell.
Yeah, man, it's not bad at all, man.
Yeah, it's real clean.
Yeah, that's the word, clean. It smells clean.
Yeah.
here we are back on the audio portion. Now, you checked out some behind the scenes on the YouTube video, but you got to go over to the Full Load Podcast on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and watch our videos. You'll see all the behind the scenes stuff. So, anyway, we love you guys.
That is it, man. Hey, also tell us about the situation that we had talked off the camera, man. When I had met you about doing merch with us, man. You had did a segment. I mean, you was telling me about, was it in the classroom, or you was asking somebody had said something about your phone. Your phone is your business, and a lot of people don't understand. If you have a phone, you can do a lot of business off this. This is your mini computer.
You don't have to work for nobody.
Exactly. So tell that story that you was telling me off air, man, when I met you.
Yeah, so you came by yesterday to pick up one of the shirts I'd done for you. A little backstory for everyone. We just got in the conversation of like how easy and connected it is to make money nowadays straight from your phone. And I brought up how like when I was in college in Florida and I ran that tattoo shop, a lot of my money in sales was not from paying for marketing. I actually never paid for marketing. One, because it didn't look sincere, and two, I'm a walking billboard for my tattoo shop. You know, I'm covered in tattoos. I got 27, I think, at this point.
See?
Yeah, I got like 12 in 1 year. It was a good year. I was the guinea pig. But anyways, I was in art class, and a lot of times the kids in that class be like, "Man, why are you always on your phone?" You know, I'm still on that whiskey, bro. I appreciate it. That beer's gonna
pop it top.
me. Mazel tov. So I think we can say that, right? Yeah. Okay. So I was always on my phone because, you know, back then, this is like 2012, 2013, 2014. Facebook Messenger is like a key thing of messaging. Snapchat's up. So a lot of times it's that instant connection that you get with people. So, hey, I heard you do tattoos. Okay, boom. On my phone, messaging people. Why are you always on your phone? I'm on my phone because I make money. You guys are in art class, and I failed art school. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not saying I'm a terrible drawer, but I just didn't follow the guidelines because I was kind of an asshole. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I was just that guy who was like, I don't need to draw within the box. I can draw the box, you know? So I made money that way, and I was trying to explain that who you know in your network is important. And with the way communication is nowadays, you can find great people to network and establish relationships to build business. A lot of my tattoo clients are my shirt clients. A lot of my shirt clients were tattoo clients. A lot of those clients I went to school with. And I went to art school mainly to find other artists to hire for my company. Because in my head, I'm like, I could work 40 hours for someone, and that's cool. I'm not knocking the 9-to-5 job. Everyone has to do it at some point in life, or I feel like they should, to understand how other people work, and also to learn some common decency. Because if you treat my waitress bad at a restaurant, I'm not doing business with you, because you're not the type of person I want to do business with. So that communication with basically technology today makes it to where you can make money all the time. You can do Instacart. You can shop for people's Christmas groceries right now. You can do Uber. So let me ask you guys this. What did Uber disrupt? Like, what industry did it disrupt?
Taxi.
Taxi, right?
And not only taxi, I guess delivery too.
DoorDash did.
DoorDash, yeah.
Right? What did Airbnb disrupt?
Oh, hotels.
Hotel.
Yeah.
You get what I'm...
Yeah.
All these apps now are making it to where you as an individual can take your liabilities, like your car and your house, and make them assets.
Well, not only that, I mean, I hate to interrupt you, but also, man, podcasts, you know, interrupting radio.
TV.
Oh, yeah. Celestial radio is really dying.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Sadly, because mainly those platforms refuse to transfer over. And it's not because they refuse to. I believe the people who work the industry want to do it, but they're contractually obligated to do things that they don't want to do, which that's a whole other topic. Contracts and selling your art can really be detrimental to your creativity and your business. Like, you can be restricted on a lot of things. What I like that you guys do is you don't have to answer to nobody on this podcast.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
hey Jimmy, what are we doing?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Are you
Or-
up? You got the whiskey? You know?
Yeah.
Or matter of fact, man, you know, kind of like I knew one of the guys who was going to have on. Like I told you, you know, we met and we talked, and which I had told you because we thought you knew the guy that I was talking about. Was going to have a professional basketball player on, but you know, with his family and the circumstances of what time we was going to do it, just fell out to me. And I said, hey man, just called you and that. But I think at the short notice, man, I think some people can't do that. They would have to sit there and go through chain of command, you know. But me and Jimmy, I just called him and said, well, no, he came over and got when Manscaped brought the dropped the products off.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah,
That's
appreciate it, man. When they dropped the products off, I said, hey man, I think Jeff. This guy's not gonna make it. I think Jeff can come on, man. And like I said, right there, man, we just
Yeah, we were gonna have you on anyway. I mean, because you're a
Exactly.
badass dude, man. But check it out. Also, what's dying here lately, believe it or not, is satellite TV. Because now you got your streaming services like Apple. Me and Eric's got a certain service, Fire Stick. That
Peacock.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, streaming service, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to fine tune it. So you have YouTube paying for shorts. I think we talked about this off camera. Because they want to compete with Netflix. Netflix pays directors, $123 million to produce a movie. What does YouTube do? It doesn't pay anyone shit till they produce it.
Right.
So YouTube's always going to have the capital. Now, with satellite and streaming services, the only issue is these companies are learning. I had to put out an episode every week because if I put it all out at once, everyone watches it and then they don't watch it again. So it's like, because what they don't realize is people will binge watch or they'll leave it on while they're doing other things, you know.
Exactly.
But they're still getting the views, they're still getting their money.
Or some people, you know, driving, you know, throughout the night and watching the whole 8 series, you know.
Yeah, gosh. I dated a girl who watched Grey's Anatomy. Never again. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You ladies that love Grey's Anatomy. I
Because
just can't do it.
me and Eric used to work at DirecTV and Dish Network.
Yeah.
And back in the day, that's all you seen was Dish Network and DirecTV vans. Spectrum still does their internet, of course, but now you don't hardly see these vans running around because that business is slowly dying.
But I tell you this on what Spectrum is doing, and I'm using them is because we had them. Is once we let them go with the cable side and with the streaming side. Of course, they was trying their asses off to sell you some. Hey, we'll give you a year free for this why you cancel it? It's like, no, man. The only thing that's keeping them around, wait till somebody come out with the internet side, the Wi-Fi side. They're gonna be hurting.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing that's keeping them alive right now. So it is the Wi-Fi. But as far as in cable, and nobody's paying no $200. That's what we was paying, $200.
I know. I grew up with. I was fortunate enough to grow up with cable. I know. My dad's stressing about that bill every damn month. I don't even watch football. I'm like, it's natural,
But you can go from like you said, you can go from $200 to $40.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm gonna pay $40, bro.
There you go. I'm saving that $160.
$160 is going to Pelicans. So I can eat a tomahawk.
There you go.
Tomahawk steak.
There you go, man.
I was gonna say this though, with like that industry and every industry, people fail to realize, like, okay, so 1950s was not 50 years ago, it was 70 years ago now, right? Technology changes, industry changes. We always tell musicians, like, hey, you're not going to be hot in 20 years, unless you're Drake, apparently. But why would we expect industries to think that they're exempt from that ruling? Like, if you look at video games, you guys remember when Atari, Centipede came out, Genesis, all those?
Yeah.
You see the graphics now on games? That was less than 20 years, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a little, if you count Atari, a little over 20.
Yeah.
But that's 30 years out of 70 from nuclear bombs is what I'm getting at. So what is technology really now? And they say this a lot. The military gets to test all that stuff before civilians get it. Military had cell phones before y'all had those big ass bricks in the car.
Bad cell phones.
My wife stabbed me because she found out about my affair. Like, only the rich guys could afford those back then.
Yeah,
but technology is advancing. One thing, while that is great, I think at the same time, we as human beings, as people, need to communicate better and really learn to listen rather than respond to people.
Since you said technology is changing, I'm always thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Check this out though. Think about this. Maybe I'm gonna get your input. It's crazy because I was thinking about. You remember the pagers?
Yeah.
So, hold on here. I'm going somewhere with this, so follow me.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it that technology, we're there, man. Why does the hospital doctor still have a pager? You think there would be some app or something else better than that pager? Maybe I hope some listeners just follow me on this, because I just thought about this.
No, I get
but
it.
doctors do. I was like, who still has a pager? Doctors still use a pager. So I know there's somebody out there, and there probably is somebody waiting to go on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
That's coming up with some app that makes, that's make it where, if I'm looking for my doctor, or saying if I'm looking for a heart surgeon or whatnot, or vice versa,
I can just page you on your watch.
Page you, and then it comes up to see who's the top specialist out there. But hospitals still use a pager. Those doctors, I think, they still do use that pager. With technology, the way we don't put men on the moon, and let's see, Bezos and whoever else, and then have shuttles and taking people to the moon. It's like, man, come on now.
Richard Branson.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think I know the answer to that, and it's a sad answer. They still use pagers because doctors will be on TikTok making videos with their phone, so they probably can't have their phone near them. And that's just the sad reality of things. Like, you see all those videos, that patient's in the back like, I can't breathe! And then she's like... you're like, what the hell? My insurance don't even cover my dancing TikTok doctor.
But I tell you this, though. Yeah. That is one thing that blew up real quick, fast, and hairy. Because I think, what was TikTok called before it changed? It was called something else. Music. I don't know. Music something. I think it was music.
I know a lot of apps do that, actually. Snapchat used to be Peekaboo.
Oh,
it used to be a nude-only sending site.
For real?
Yeah, it was called Peekaboo.
It's like OnlyFans or something like that.
I actually have one. It's called OnlyPans, by the way. OnlyPans cooking show. So after all these girls are done and these guys are like ready to eat, hey, you want to see a nice chicken Alfredo? Right, I got you. I'm dressed. I wear an apron, my Crocs, and my hat. But I capitalized off of that.
But you got an open back apron and everything.
I'm still wearing my taco boxers. So we can talk about it. But that's really it. I capitalized off of that. I was like, I'm going to do the comedic version of this. Everyone's out there diddling and doing serious stuff. I bet you someone's hungry after they watch this. And then, honestly, a husband can use that as an excuse. Why are you on OnlyFans? I was watching Hefe at OnlyFans cooking show, I'll be your scapegoat. It's okay.
Listen, speaking of this, I know because you do so much shit, man. It's going to be hard to cover everything in this show. Yeah, but sorry. I was just, no, it's not sorry. I was just thinking about how you can use what you saying as on your comedy side, man.
Mm-hmm.
So if any comedians out there is listening, man, I think like you gotta, what you doing is like you take whatever is going on and then you can flip it. Mm-hmm. Like it's so easy for you to flip it to the comic side and then be funny at it. So I don't think like, you get some comedians that come in and they just
trauma dump. Yeah.
And they don't know how to flip that. So I think you got that mentality where you can do that. And I think, that's why it works well for you, man. I really do. Because just meeting you guys, because I'll tell Jimmy, how long has, we was talking when we first met when I came to your house?
Probably about an hour.
I told him, I said, dude, we was talking.
Supposed to be a quick pickup, but, we got chopping it up.
We was chopping it up, man. It was just like,
you got to see the lab, kind of. I like people to see what I'm working with because it lets them know that I'm serious, too. Because there's a level of transparency, I think, that should be in business and relationships when you talk to people. Like you guys have me come here. This is a dope layout. This is a dope setup.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just invite anyone here, especially to drink up all this fine whiskey. But I appreciate it. And it's just a mindset. That goes back to being negative. I was still funny and witty, but it was like I look at the glass as half full than empty. I know that's cliche as fuck, but it really does help. It's the difference between, like, you guys ever been really tired and you're like, I'm only getting 5 hours to sleep, right? You know what the flip side of that is? I'm taking a 5-hour nap. That 5-hour nap sounds better than I'm only getting 5 hours of sleep.
Right.
And I sleep pretty well when I tell myself that, until I get my coffee, of course. But, it's just, comedy's subjective, though, I would say.
Yeah.
A lot of times you have to have experiences, or you just have to have a different outlook. And a lot of times I feel like some people use comedy as therapy, which is nothing wrong with that. I do it with my artwork. I do it with my comedy. Like, I go on stage and I might be nervous at first, but I think about when I was a server at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I would try different accents on people, and I would just talk to people normally and have how we have a conversation, and I say some funny things. Like, that would be my comedy. Now, when you start looking at it like, I gotta make these motherfuckers laugh. Why isn't Jimmy laughing, right? Like, Jimmy, you killed every comedian's career there that day. Not because you weren't laughing, it's just because they got into their head.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, I go up there and, I care about what people think, but I don't care enough to lose sleep about it. I just say, okay, I'll do better, or
next time.
I'm never gonna blame the crowd or say, oh, they just didn't get me. Like, no, you just didn't advocate in a way that they understood. So try that next time. You know, just trying, man.
I've always been told I've got a straight poker face.
Yeah. Oh, I want to play. We're gonna go play some poker.
Because check it out. You were funny.
Mm-hmm.
Strata was funny. King George, man, he was killing it.
And I told him he's got a natural knack.
We're gonna have him on the podcast. I was telling Eric about him.
He is an interesting man.
Yeah.
He is, and he's a wise man. But funny as fuck. He's actually a great example. I'm glad you brought that up. The reason I like King George is because I knew that he's got a sense of energy around him where he's like, I've lived life and I'm comfortable enough in my own skin that I don't give a fuck if I go on this stage and talk about my mom elbow dropping me from a ladder because I back-talked her.
Right.
I'm going to say my piece. And I think if a lot of people could get to that mindset or understand that, they would deliver their true selves, not what they think people will laugh at. You know what I mean? Like, I can do shock reaction stuff all the time, but is it my character? No.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I'll tell you that bit, of course I'll fuck it up, but
it's okay.
When he was talking about his mom, Cena,
yeah,
dude, and he looked back behind his shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just...
He's animated.
Yes,
sir.
He was very animated. It's like I told Beth, I said, I love a comedian when he's animated. When they put on a show, he was a showman.
Yes, exactly.
Because if you just sit there and you're still...
Exactly. You don't want to be the clear ice guy.
Right, right.
And thankfully, I'm animated in the face. When I'm a little heavier now, but when I move animated, I'm pretty good. But Clint, definitely King George, animated character. And Jason, the owner of the Deep End, is very about animated. Like, I don't know if you guys have been out to his Rockstar Karaoke night.
Haven't been there.
It's wild. It's fun because, like, it's not regular karaoke. You don't go up there and go, once upon a... You're like, once upon a time. You know, you're out there being you're singing that Miley Cyrus song like you're Miley Cyrus. You know, you're singing AC/DC like you're AC/DC. Okay. So I appreciate people who bring that energy because it's at that point it's like an art and you can tell it's serious. Right. If I were to go up there and be like, so my dad shot my dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the punchline, dude?
You know what? Also with that, man, it goes on with, for me, I like to be, me and Jimmy knows this, and we talk about it. It's like, we talk about it with some of the guys we work with that comes to work, and it's like, like Igor off of Winnie the Pooh. No. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, we want to be around people that's energized. It's like, hey, what's going on? Did you have 2 days off? It's like, you'll have, like, we're on a 3-day weekend. I guarantee you, when I go back to work after 3-day weekend, I'll be meeting one of my guys. He'll, hey man, dude, you just off for 3 days and it's just Christmas. Why are you so down?
Didn't do what they wanted.
I can't be around people like that.
Here's an example of animated right here. Mm-hmm. All right, go to manscaped.com. Use the promo code full load, get 20% off plus free shipping. They got cologne. They got the lawnmower 4.0. They got the hedge trimmer what is it?
The Weed
Weed Whacker.
I was
They
joking.
got, oh, dude, beautiful T-shirts. We got a T-shirt in there. We got some silky boxer drawers. Feels like you're wearing nothing. I mean, they got underarm deodorant. They got lip balm. Use the promo code TheFullLoad. Get 20% off plus free shipping. Now that's fucking animated right there.
Yeah, that's it right there, man. You gotta be
Everyone take
animated.
some lessons. You just gotta have passion for what you do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't do anything if you ain't gonna put some soul into it.
And it doesn't matter. Like I said, I always tell everybody, tell my kids, no matter what you do in life, man, I always do it 120%.
All right, Eric, it's your turn. Get animated with it.
No, it just basically
Take
he
a
knows because hey, he when I was over there talking to him, he was like, man, I feel like I feel your energy, man. You got energy because we was hyped up. I was hyped up. Hell, I even had the damn
The possibilities that can happen.
we even had your pit bull come out. You know, I woke her.
She's a lab pit bull. She's
beautiful.
actually.
Yeah. I seen a little bit of her through your door and everything.
Yeah,
No,
it's my roommate's dog, to be honest. But he's a ex-Marine, gentle giant. Like, he's quiet. She's the spaz. But that dog, like, you gotta have pets in your life, whether it's birds, cats, dogs, maybe rats. Just don't come near me, or
Chinchillas.
Snakes, Yeah, chinchillas.
Now, as a backstory, that's why I said that to me and
now.
Jimmy, man. So that's why I had to bring in a
Chinchillas.
chinchilla. So anybody that knows if they listen to the podcast, hey, you know what we're talking about.
I was just bullshit, man. He just brought
Show me where the chinchillas touched you.
He brought that Christmas mood down.
Man, yeah. So we're not gonna go back on it, man. Y'all just go back.
I'm gonna make a skit though with that dog coming up where I was telling you about it, but
Yeah.
You know when you go to a friend's house and they're like, "Hey, my dog doesn't bite." That dog is very playful with me, and she'll pretend to grab my wrist and lead it around, and she'll snarl. I'm gonna do a video where I get attacked by her, pretend attacked, of course.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be like, "Hey, my dog doesn't bite," and then it's me going, "Oh, what?" You know?
Hey, but speaking of that, man, Jimmy, you should have seen because I was thinking about Hinto, your pits, and dude, we just talking, we having a good time. Man, I think we was talking for it was a little bit over an hour.
Yeah.
Probably all of a sudden I heard a ticky tacky on the hardwood floors, and then you reminded me because I knew because you said he got a pit bull, so I heard a ticky tack. So I'm trying not to look scared. I seen her come up, and I was like, shit. Hey, Jimmy, he was sitting over there probably like to the corner. He jumps over, and then what you say? You said, "Don't worry, she don't bite." I know all dogs say that, so now I'm thinking,
yeah, all dog owners say that.
Oh man, growing up in Florida, everyone had a pit bull, so and I have friends from different backgrounds, so like I already knew I was like the ambassador, like, hey, I know my white friend got a pit bull, but no, stay away. This one's not good. This one's good.
Tell him your story about Hinto.
I'll say, man, I don't know. Well, did you see his coming through? Hinto?
Not yet.
Not yet. So after we leave, man, listen, it was so funny because his wife, man, I came over because Jimmy was working for somebody. We've been on each other for a long time. We worked with each other. We had our businesses, and then he worked for different companies.
This
so then
is
I was
the
like,
funny shit.
So
dude.
I was trying to get him back to where I'm working at, and I was coming over to show some paycheck stuff. I was like, dude, you need to come on. We gotta open it. You need to come on.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I just live a street over. So I always see his wife outside, with their big ass pit.
Yeah.
And dude, she's out there trying to make him potty. It's like he's trying to jerk his wife's arms out her socket.
Yeah.
So I'm like, fuck this shit, fuck that. So as I come up and I'm talking about Jimmy, so as I knock on the door, his wife's opening the door and she's trying to open the screen door. Next thing I know, I see that fucking pit just coming charging. I put my fucking foot on that goddamn door. I said, tell him to call me. Tell him to call me. And then, so dude,
hit that door. Actually, hit the door.
Dude, boom. I was thinking that glass was from the break, and his wife Mustang is right here in the driveway. Yeah. So I knew I wasn't gonna have enough fucking time to make it to my car in the street. So I said, I do not give a fuck. Her Mustang is about to get dented up. So that's the only closing. So I'm sitting over there. So I'm like, please hold that fucking door. So I said, just fuck that. Have him call me. Have him call me. So I turn around and I'm thinking like, if I hear just that fucking broken glass, like when you heard in the studio when we fucking have our song, I say, fuck, I'm jumping on the fucking Mustang, dude. I don't give a fuck.
He said, Jimmy, fuck your Mustang.
Yeah, dude, I'll pay for that shit. dude, because I'm not finna get a piece of my fucking Achilles ripping out.
I'm gonna be
by
honest.
this
I got bit.
dude.
Oh,
No,
shit.
when you see, hey, listen, when you see this,
Yeah.
this is a ball of muscle, man. Like
Okay.
you, so that's why I should have been, but
He's a big
I mean,
old
y'all,
baby, man.
y'all pick
Yeah,
came
it's
out.
all about
Yeah.
who's the owner. Bro.
Y'all pick came out, and I was like, but then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
but when you see this is like shit, like
John Coffee over here.
this motherfucker
from
like
the Green
Arnold
Mile.
Schwarzenegger on fucking goddamn.
will take a chunk.
Yeah. Nah, bro.
He said,
Nah,
he said, you gonna come and knock on my door.
nah,
He
bro.
said, come here, son.
Yeah, nah.
Oh,
bro. And
Lord.
the deal is he was doing his job.
Yeah, of
He
course.
was
Hey,
doing his job.
My husky would get my whole family killed. You know, you walk in there with a piece of bacon, he'd be like, "Have at it. Here's an MP5, actually, if you
Nah,
want
bro,
it." You
but
know?
I tell you, and we'd have plenty of people come into the studio. And I
Yeah.
think our last one was like Brandy. Brandy Mel says, "Oh, Jimmy, I was gonna take one of your pits, and I was going." Oh, I'm like, no, you better not fucking stick your hand over the gate.
No.
Hold on. Speaking of this, let's talk about Scholar. Hold on.
Oh, shit.
Skylar fucked with your pet.
No, Scholar, he listen.
Bless his soul.
I always run to the door.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
The dogs are locked up when we come out, and,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, I tell them like, listen,
Lock these motherfuckers up.
really, to be honest with you, if they want to get over that little fucking gate,
Yeah, they could. Yeah.
that's your ass, Mr. Dog
Yeah.
Man. Mr. Mailman.
Yeah.
Scholar,
Shit.
we got a trash can right over here, so
Mhm.
we had some beers and stuff. He takes off as he's walking, and as you come in, we walking out and then take a quick left, hit the door.
Left. Yeah.
Nah, Scholar, man.
He's like, Jimmy, where's your trash can?
Takes a left or right.
I said,
a circle.
Bubba, just put it down right there.
He's
I
trying
got
to
it.
go
I got
into
it.
the kitchen. Now the fucking pits are sitting up here looking like they know when we got guests coming over. They know when you come in and they go into the studio. He's going into a different area of the house. I'm looking at Hinto, and I'm already at the door. I'm like, well, fuck this. I'm already out. Because I'm like, Scholar's about to be fucking shredded to fucking pieces.
Intruder.
Because you're trying to do too much.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Hey.
I like
shit.
I told Jimmy, I said,
I love Skylar Wilson, but if he was a movie character, he'd be the one that wanders off and gets macheted.
yeah, by
He'd
Jason.
Yeah.
By
He'd
Jason
be the
Voorhees
first
or Michael
motherfucker
Myers.
that dies
He'd be
on
like,
the
"Hey,
movie.
let me talk to you for a second, Mike Myers." And then,
Why do you have that hockey mask?
Yeah.
We all running.
I could have found you a cheaper hockey mask.
It's like that commercial of, I think it was Geico. Why don't we just go to the running car?
Yeah. No, let's just hide behind the chainsaws. Yeah.
I'll just chalk that up as spatial awareness for Skylar, because he'll do things like that. It's not intentional, but
Yeah.
he definitely
didn't.
he
know.
definitely would. He's the beginning of every horror movie. Like, if you hear that banging on the back door,
Yeah.
he's the guy who's going to open the door.
You
He's
know
like,
what's
no, don't
Yeah.
do it.
So you saying he's going to be the first motherfucker dead on the movie?
That or the one that gets us all killed.
Yeah. He's gonna be the
Yeah,
first one.
it's cool though. That film's brought to you by Rob Zombie, probably.
Yeah, but that story was funny. Me and Jim, we laugh about this still to this day. Man.
Dude, every time he
shit.
tells me that, we get on that story, I laugh for 30 minutes straight.
I told him,
He said, your Mustang going to be all fucked up,
I've
sir.
actually been bit though by a dog, and it was a scared, domesticated security dog. It was a blue Hiller mix. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Australian
you
Shepherds.
got one. Don't you got one that's mixed like that?
Great.
Cow dog.
Cow dog.
Yeah. Shepherd, cow dog, great dogs. Loyal as hell.
Yeah.
You should name them Velcro or Shadow because they're always up on you. Well, I was doing this tiny room discussion podcast, and the guy had it in a tiny room in the back, and his dog Crash was there. Crash is a great dog, but Crash got scared, and he went towards my leg, and I just said, like, no, you're not doing that, right? And it's like the dog put its teeth just enough to put an indent in my skin, but not break it. And it was like, oh, wait, I remember this guy. And I was like, now every time I see this dog, I have to do a fucking Russian accent because it's how it remembers me. I can't go, hey, Crash. I'll be like, hello, Crash. How are you, my comrade?
Yeah.
Like, shit.
Yeah.
That's where accents get you messed up.
Hey, I tell you, man, but you can't get mad at
No.
when the dogs do they doing their job, they're protecting their owners and stuff. That's what they're supposed to do.
Now, if it's an unwarranted attack, yeah, I'm shooting that dog. But if it's doing its job and I'm in its home, That dog is simply, that's like people who throw themselves in tiger cages and they shoot the tiger. I'm like,
Yeah.
Nah,
why'd you shoot
man.
the fucking...
Yeah.
That dude wanted to die. He threw himself in the cage.
Yeah.
That's my only explanation. I don't know why you would... It's not like the tiger's got frosted flakes and you're going to go pull from it.
Yeah, I think the only time they did that, they showed a video. I think it was maybe a couple years back where the guy was the mentally ill. And jumped in that cage, and I was like, man, wow. But then I had plenty of guys that was normal or people, women that jumped in the cage and was thinking like, this shit was funny.
Let me get a picture with the tiger.
Yeah, shit.
2015, there were those kids at the San Francisco Zoo who had thrown rocks and pine cones at the tiger.
Yeah.
Then the tiger was like, oh, okay, I'm going to hop out this bitch. And it hunted those 3 kids down, bro.
Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah, it killed the 17-year-old, and then it, like, maimed and laid next to one, and then one got away. But when they were asking, like, why did the tiger seek you out? Oh, we don't know. They're like, well, we found sticks and pine cones that weren't part of his exhibit. And we got camera pictures.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a smart man, and I like to say that I'm smart enough to know not to fuck with a damn tiger, whether I'm at a zoo or not. You know, like...
Man, listen,
tiger.
You remember the lady that had the pet chimpanzee, that ripped her arms off and ripped her face off.
They'll bite your fingers off, too.
Yeah,
that lady that's got the
mangled
face
face.
covering. Yeah,
man. I mean, she thought that, I'm like, dude, no, this shit, those things are strong.
When you start doing that fantasy Disney shit and you start giving animals fucking personality like that, that's when you get your arms ripped off by a baboon and beat.
Yeah,
you know, like...
Listen, I think it's cool, man, because you see all those people that have all the spider monkeys and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, man, that's cool, but I'm thinking
a chimpanzee.
No, chimp. I would never have no chimp.
That's a human.
Yeah, that's a human. And they don't know how strong those...
It's like if we replaced Beth with a chimpanzee and we're like, all right, film this angle, and then we both get mauled to death.
Yeah, you try to jump in the cage with a damn silverback.
Oh my god, gorillas.
Dude, check this out.
Yeah.
Chimpanzee, the first thing he's going to gnaw off of his enemy is his dick.
Yep.
He's
I heard that.
He's going to go straight for the dick because he wants to be the main chimp in charge.
And he doesn't want to get fucked, which I don't...
And then he's going to go after your face. I mean, it's fuck them monkeys, man.
I'm going to say this comment, and I'm glad I thought about it.
Jimmy?
No, hell
That
no.
chimpanzee will turn you into Helen Keller real quick.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. You can blur this out of the podcast.
No,
later,
you're good, brother.
But that sometimes I was at a family dinner the other day. I hate to say this, but I had one too many Dos Equis. And my girlfriend's dad was talking about how, in Alaska, they get the bears that climb up the trees. And then they'll tranquilize them and they'll drop and they'll put them in a box and you never see them again. And my rabbit brain was like, you mean like how the U.S. treats immigrants? And can't really say that out loud in a Mexican restaurant. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I wasn't saying it was good or bad. I'm just stating the fact.
Yeah.
And everyone died laughing, but I just got that look from my girlfriend like, that's strike one.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be that motherfucking funny. So yeah, Helen Keller, chimpanzees. No. That's actually in one of my stand-up bits. I talk about how, I grew up in a family that didn't really question things, like Bill Clinton getting his dick sucked. Nah, not our Bill. That, they wouldn't question Diet Mountain Dew causes cancer. No, it doesn't.
Oh, rotting your teeth out. I mean, if you look at everybody somewhere now, hold on.
I've been trying to tell my dad that for 14 years, bro.
Yeah.
It's not going to... That man runs 5 point... That man is mini David Goggins, and he still drinks Diet Mountain Dew. Dad, if you're hearing this, lay off the Mountain Dew, man.
Yeah, I tell you this. I know they did so I can watching a documentary, man, and of course, man, you can go find it. Somewhere in Virginia where they was drinking all it. Well, I think they outlawed it. Mountain Dew, the regular Mountain Dew. I don't know about it. It wasn't Diet. But the regular Mountain Dew, but because the parents was putting that shit in the baby bottles and it was just rotting all their teeth out, and they didn't understand that, man. Yeah, well, you would think that. I'm
gonna start a lot of controversy.
Putting Mountain Dew in the baby bottle, but yeah, it's rotting all their teeth out.
You can't. You should. Okay. I'm only speaking as an uncle, but I learned from what my brother does, and my brother's very adamant about not giving his kids sugar before they're 1. Because we have family members who do that, and their kids are raging, angry babies. And Coco Melon. That show, I don't know what it is about that show. That show makes every baby mad. I'm like, if I want to wrestle, if I want to have a fight club with babies, Coco Melon's in the background. I promise you. Um, but Mountain Dew is crazy you say that because when I lived in England, Oreos and Mountain Dew were banned.
Yeah.
I lived on base though. I could get Oreos and Mountain Dew. So I've always been an entrepreneur at this sense because I would go off campus or I'd go outside of base, Alconbury, and I'd go sell Oreos and Mountain Dew to all my English friends for like £5 a pop. That was $10, bro. It cost me like $3 to get Oreos back in 2009, 2008, right? So I was going and selling Oreos and Mountain Dews to the British kids. So I probably caused a lot of bad teeth in England.
But you know, it's speaking of that, it's a girl that I think I've seen on TikTok, and I think she's over in British London. That I guess all the Americans, they send her food that they want her to try out. You know, like Oreos, the drinks, chips, and all that stuff that's different.
Biscuits,
there, so. Yeah. What they call biscuits? What, cookies?
Yeah, that's so weird because I want biscuits and gravy, and they looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, "What do you mean?
Yeah, you
give me the biscuit."
Cookie.
And
like, what the hell?
Cookies with brown gravy. I'm like, no, I want biscuits with white gravy.
Yeah. So
like,
what do they call biscuits? So our biscuits.
Our biscuit? I don't.
What
They're
call
crumpets.
Crumpets.
Yeah,
you would
that's
think
like
that'd
a
be
scone,
cookies.
tea and crumpets.
Scones.
Yeah, scones.
Yeah.
But crumpets would technically count. Yeah, they had. What else did they have? They have this place called Tesco. It's like if you're an alcoholic, great place. 24-hour, like good to go. Their dairy's great. In England, if you ever eat their dairy, it's fantastic. They have happy cows. So like, I can talk shit about British food a lot, but their dairy and some of their pastries are delicious. But when it comes to seasoning food, no, forget about it.
Like, yeah, I think, speaking of that, I was telling Jimmy, I might be, no, that was German.
Germany's great too. I've been there. I played soccer
out
there for a few years.
They had a dish called spotted dick.
Yeah, it's speckled sausage.
Yeah, so I told Jimmy, I said, she, who's at I think they had she worked with us when I worked at State Hospital a long time ago. We had a potluck, and she said, I'm going to bring spotted dick. And I was like,
you know, an old man.
I'm not eating that shit. But yeah, that's what it was. When she brought the dish, man, everybody was eating it. I was like, man, you know what we eating? I'm like, where did they come up with the name?
They have weird names.
Yes, weird names.
There was this British restaurant right outside the base. And I laughed every time my mom or my friends wanted to eat at it. They're like, hey, we got to go to the Black Cock. And it was this rooster that they had black stones that you cooked your own meat on. But the restaurant was called the Black Cock. So it was hilarious for all us Americans. Because I guess in England they don't care about stuff like that.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I mean, you could literally put out a cigarette and get laid. If you said, hey, can I use your ashtray? They'd be like, oh, are you American? You'd be like, yes. Yes, I am. Or you do a Texas accent, you're like, yeah, I'm from America.
You know, I always want to, we going on a cruise, man. And we'll visit some. I always want, I don't know, I'm just leery about stuff like that. I mean, just, I don't know, man, stuff, I guess I watch too many movies.
About what?
Just when you go overseas, I mean, when you go out of, go overseas and visit, man, it's just, because the language barriers are different. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, of course, when, like, I always stay, like, I'd have been to Cancun and stuff, but I always stay on the island. I never leave that.
The coconut side.
Yeah, I always leave where, the tourists, exactly, because I figured it's safe. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people got that opportunity to leave, go off. I'm like, nah, bro. There's no, I can't call the president and say, hey, man, we got Eric Mays over here. I'm not worth shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not Brittany Griner. I'm not, what's the man they let go? The arms dealer. I'm not that popular.
The guy, I think they made War of Lord movie off of that Nicolas Cage played in. I think that was the guy. I could be totally wrong, but I think that was it. Yeah, the brother Yuri. With overseas travel, it's with anything. You want to go to places, like, you're smart to stay in those areas. Yeah. If you spoke Spanish, you maybe could, but it's like, the rule is always go with a friend. So, like, if I go to Thailand, I have a lot of military friends out there. So, I don't worry about that. When I'm in England, it's a little easier for me to blend in with the culture there than you would, for example. You might stick out.
Yeah. Jimmy might stick out.
Jimmy.
He's the black guy.
No, he's American.
That's right.
He's wearing a USA. He's wearing a USA shirt. But you stick to people who you know. But like, I went to Italy, and I didn't speak Italian, but I spoke a little bit of Spanish, enough to order like ice cream, like dos conos con leche de chocolate.
Yeah.
I want a chocolate ice cream cone.
Yeah.
And
What
Italy
is-
was great.
What is the ice cream called over there in Italy? What is that called?
Gelato.
Gelato.
And it is, as a person who's ate
Yeah.
gelato, the closest thing you'll get to that is that Tollerone brand in Market Street, the little clear containers with the brown twist on lids. That's the closest you'll get to authentic gelato.
Yeah.
Or I'm plugging in a lot of people who don't even know I plug them in half the time, but Duck downtown, the coffee shop Duck,
Yeah.
I think it used to be called Odd Duck, has fantastic gelato. You can get like an Italian ice cream coffee,
Yeah.
sweet cream, delicious.
I
I ate that
heard-
for a week, bro.
I heard when you eat the gelato and then you come back to the States and eat regular ice cream,
Shit.
dog shit.
Pizza too, and women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I was 18. I got off that plane. I was like, wow, every woman here is gorgeous. Gorgeous, or she looks like my grandma. There's no in between, right?
Damn.
Or that grandma's gorgeous, but I can tell. But no, women, the culture's beautiful. I love how they don't have, like, from 12 to 2 is family time. There's no lunch there. You should have had brunch. You should have brunch. They value family. So, like, seeing that culture and how they take time and really value. That's why mobsters are so close. That's the only reason I can guess is because that Italian mindset with family runs deep. And you see it in their culture and their food. Eating the pizza there, I ate at San Giorgio, right outside Aviano. It's a little air base out there. Don't ask for pineapple on your pizza. That's about it. That's like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, you'll get executed, bastard. They're gonna be like, we don't like the pizza
Yeah.
normally.
Yeah, exactly.
My cousin Louis back in America said to watch out for people like that.
Yeah.
Well, see, they talk bad about the Italians because the Italians had real bad COVID problems because they all old and they smoke.
Yeah. Japan.
That's the reason why the COVID was outrage over there.
Decimated. Japan doesn't have any more young people in it. They're paying people to have babies right now.
Wow.
Because their diapers being born is less than the diapers that their adult diapers outweigh the baby diapers. Like there's such a culture of old, like everyone's like 70, 80 years old out there now. So a lot of that, so Japan in maybe a few years is going to be run by nothing but younger, Japanese families that don't really have that, they just don't have enough people. So,
Man,
Japan might be, you might see me in Japan, Like,
hey, who knows, man? I tell you this, you was talking about the cultures with the family time, and I think I've seen a couple of countries that's like that, where Sundays is pretty much family time or whatever.
Hispanic culture, you'll find that a lot too.
Yeah, you see that a lot. And I think, like, I don't know, man, I think everybody has their own differences and stuff like this. And I always say this, man, I always look, and I say this to Jimmy, and I know he got it, it's crazy, because I know that he has his sister, and, I got younger siblings. But there's no jealousy with that, but it's just like, okay, of course, the Christmas time and stuff and holidays. It's my, I don't have that part where I say, well, I'm going to my mom's or going to my sister's or going, my sister's coming here or whatever. We just, unfortunately, man, it's just one of those situations where, man, things don't work out and everybody has it, but it is what it is. But I think, I always think that, that if you could just sit and have time with your family, and I think that was important with my kids, where we just sit there and I take that, to heart. But I think these other cultures, I think if we can incorporate that into America, and I know we all don't have family, but even if we just invite friends, like good friends, and just have a big food, just have a big table with just food around, and we all just enjoying each other's time. And I think if we take time out and do that, I think the world will be a better place. But I think just everybody, we just also caught up into just like we on the go and we got to do this and we're so selfish. But I think that if we just sit there and just have a good, even if it got a couple of hours, and I mean, even though like Jimmy don't know this, but just because we doing this on Christmas, but man, just coming over here for the time that we being in and bringing you in and just having a good time here, man, that's just that solidifies everything for me. And I know, like I said, I'm just going off to later on to have sticks with my, with my other family, but but I think that just friends and family, man, on holidays, man, for me, it's because I always had it in my back of my mind, like, okay, what is my mom doing? What is, even though we don't get along, what are y'all doing? How did it come to this? But I know how it came. But I think these other countries, man, they got it right at that, where they closed down pretty much everything for that particular day, whatever day of the week of that may be.
It's a tradition, and it goes back. I like how you said that, because I have this conversation with my parents a lot, because they're like, hey, we need you, can you come down? And I'm like, I gotta work. In prior years I had to work for other people,
right,
in moving situations, and I said, I promise you though, if I didn't have to spend money, I would just spend time with y'all. And a lot of times that's as I get older, I don't waste my time anymore. Like, I'll spend my time with people that appreciate it, that have understanding, that value it. Because at the end of the day, if we didn't have to spend money, we would spend time with each other.
Yeah.
And I moved that into business. And my brother is a great role model on this. Shout out to Mike Guil, Bass Drop Props. All his employees have always ate at the dinner table with us. Like, at the end of the day, and it's something I want to do. I want to sit down at the end of the day, prep a meal for my group, the people I work with, the people I talk to, I communicate with, the people I do business with, friends and family. I want them all to sit at that table, right? Because at the end of the day, I feel like if you sit down with your people, it's not going anywhere. It's a community. The community will not self-destruct on itself if it's tight. But if you have rogue individuals who come in and are selfish, or just want to use you as a means of steps to get to the next situation, which everyone's entitled to do what they want in life. But you just can't do it over here with me. You can do it over there.
Yeah.
So
and
that's important.
And I know you said that, and I know you're not just talking bullshit, because you had said that about Gore.
Yeah.
When I left your house yesterday, you
said
something. Yeah. You said, hey man, if I could, I don't know, I might be putting you on the spot, man, but I'm just saying what you said, man. I want people to know, because we transparent here.
Yeah.
You told me this. You said, man, if you can run something and have Gore as, you pay him as to be part of the staff and all. What I seen when you said that, man, you highly respect Gore. So
yes.
I mean, so like I said, there's no knock to anybody else, but I'm just saying that's what the value that you put in with Gore.
Gorbison is a star, and should be the one reason people come out tonight on Christmas Day. Mainly because I've seen the amount of work he's put into his craft. Now, I got here in 2018, and he welcomed me with open arms. I had just my brother and his wife, as like someone I could talk to, but Caleb, I'll tell you his real name, Caleb, is probably the most generous and open armed person. I joke all the time. I'm like, if I had a sister, I'd be cool with you dating her. But thank God I don't got a sister.
So you gotta worry about
right?
it.
Like, no. I want people to be at the table eating with me, and even if they don't line up with me, I want to see them eating at another table. It's never taking away from someone. It's about adding more together,
Yeah.
Which, as soon as you realize that in life, I think you guys do it well.
Yeah.
People who understand that will thrive. People who don't, I saw this video the other day. Tell me if you guys saw this. They asked someone, hey, if your friend loaned you $50 because you need it, and you bought a lottery ticket and you won $40 million, how much would you give them? There was a lady quick to respond who was like, $50. I said, watch out for that lady.
Yeah.
Watch out for people like that.
Man,
watch
dude.
out. Cut everyone out of your group who would agree with that woman. Period. Don't ask no questions, nothing. If that's your friend, there's no question. $50? What the hell?
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
should be giving you half, if not more.
But it's a lot of people out there that's like that. But I tell Jimmy this all the time, and people that know me, like I said, man, I don't let money rule me, man. I think, like, if you give back and you help people, man, I think it comes back in tenfold.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my firm belief, man. Because Jimmy, people that know, and I know they probably get tired of hearing us say this and they don't believe it. I tell all the kids and stuff. Like me and this guy didn't have this stuff when we went through trials and tribulations.
Everyone does.
We went through people taking our money. We went through working for companies that we'll put the check in the bank and the check bounce. I had to sit there. I'm not proud of this, but I had to, just to get me and this guy's check, I had to sit at somebody's house, our boss's house, with a bat saying, "Hey, no, you finna give me my money, man.
Yeah.
We worked for you for a month. Give us our money, man." And that, I'm not proud of that, but we done been through this. And when I tell people this stuff, they think like, "Oh no, man, y'all had a silver spoon in your mouth." No, we did not, man.
No. A lot of people use that as an excuse to diminish the amount of work you put in to get it.
Yeah.
And to those people, I give a middle finger and I say, "Fuck you," because at the end of the day, even if I was spoon-fed silver, you would never know.
Yeah.
You know, and I would never act that way. I think a lot of people do that just to discredit the hustle, but also. I think we had this conversation. If you don't have haters, you ain't doing anything right, because there's always going to be someone who's like, well, why has he got it and I don't? And then, as long as you separate yourself from those type of people, I think everything in life runs smooth. You know, no stress, no drama, no passive aggressiveness with people. It's just all love and prosperity from that moment. You know.
Yeah. And I think that's where we at, and I think that's why we have the leverage on a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's because we've been there. We know what it takes. And following back on something that you said earlier on, when you said you had your business and put money back in your business. Me and Jimmy, we've been there, done that, man. We know. Yeah. I think where people fail at this, if they came to us and asked for advice, I think that's a problem where a lot of people don't want to, I guess, come out and say, "Hey, man, why am I failing at this particular podcast deal?" Me and this guy would tell them if they want to hear. But one thing about it, we have a job. We didn't come in and saying, "Oh, we're gonna get a contract and it's gonna be $100 million. We're gonna be the next Joe Rogan."
It didn't just fall into your lap.
It didn't fall into your lap. Man, there's a lot of behind the scenes. And speaking of behind the scenes, look what is today. Today is Christmas, right? Yeah. A lot of people taking off. Unfortunately, man, the holidays fell on the day that we shoot a podcast. Yeah. Everybody is not sitting there visiting family. So some of our loyal listeners can't wait to hear our podcast. Yeah. So we still got to come to work. We still got to come and put our work in.
That's manscaped.com. Promo code TheFullLoad Podcast or TheFullLoad. Get 20% off, free shipping.
There you go.
Smells clean. Jimmy,
that energy right there, man.
This is the new Billy Mays. I swear to God. Jimmy here. You want a manscape?
Let's get the ShamWow.
Hey, but Billy Mays came with energy, man. Listen, I hated when I found out he died, man. That was crushing, man.
It was for me.
Hey, he sold it at OxyClean. Was it OxyClean?
OxyClean.
Yeah, man, he sold it, shit, man. I mean, the way he came in, Billy Mays here, and the big. I guess why I feel
that's great marketing, though.
Because my last name is Mays, man. I was just like, oh man, I'm not related to him.
I mean, that's great marketing, though. Yeah. For example, like, you can't taste or like smell that detergent over the TV. But, hey, so you're selling something that makes people want to buy something they don't even know truly works. They just see, kind of like cologne, you know. You're going to sell this cologne. You got to take my word for it.
Yeah.
Although, can you smell that through the camera?
No, you can't.
No, but you're going to trust these guys because they got the credentials and they know what they're doing and they got good taste. If you look at that wall's all good taste. So, you know, if I had someone else who wasn't confident or sure of themselves, like, oh my God, here's my cologne. It's nice. Like, I'm not gonna buy it. You know, so
I have confidence.
Let me tell you this. Yeah. Eric came to me one night. We were talking on the phone like we normally always do every night when we're working, because we got nothing better to do. He said, "Hey man, I was talking to so and so about a podcast." I was like, "Dude, I've been thinking about doing a podcast forever." Mm-hmm. And he goes, "What do you think?" I said, "Well, fuck, let's do it."
Yeah.
And so I started looking at podcast equipment, this, that, and the other. All of a sudden, I pulled the trigger. The equipment was on its way. I told Eric, I said, "It's on its way, man.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it." And all of a sudden, here we are. Today.
Yeah. Super simple, man.
Super simple.
You just have to do it. You can write it down all you want, all day, every day, and think about it. But the moment you pull the trigger and you make the steps, you got to be consistent, and that's what you guys do. And I appreciate you guys having me out here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, it's going to come with its highs and lows, and, you know, Anchor, I was mentioning this, Anchor, that allows you guys to do great things, and it's frustrating when I hear people, perfect example, you can YouTube anything nowadays, guys. I don't know if you know this, but you can YouTube pretty much anything you want. So a lot of times I learned how to get where I'm at in different businesses by spending countless hours on YouTube watching stuff. So when I meet other people who are like, yeah, but I can't use YouTube, I end the conversation right there and I leave. Like, because it tells me you don't want to take enough initiative to look this up on YouTube, which is free. Like, they could charge us for all this information, and it would really be worth it in my honest opinion. But most of the time, people aren't looking up, how do I press a DTG shirt? How do I fix my car? Is orange juice bad if I mix it with acid? You know, like like you got, you know, it's just everyone has access to the same information. They got the same 24 hours in a day. They might have different situations, but ultimately it comes down to your mindset. And you pulling the trigger and saying, you know what, I'm not going to wait on this shit. It's the smartest thing you can do, because a lot of times it's a catch-22. You'll have such a great plan, but you won't pull the trigger, or you'll pull the trigger too fast and you don't have a great plan. But I say to those, if you pull the trigger and you don't have a great plan, you can still learn to have a better plan than never pulling the trigger.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, very much so.
Here's the secret to success in the podcast world.
Yeah.
Every week, have you a different guest on. They bring their clientele, their following, this, that, and the other. What a lot of people fail at podcasts is they talk about the same shit day in, week out.
They don't promote.
And what you got to do is you got to dip into that different market each week, right? Like one week have a comedian on, one week have an MMA fighter. Yes. We started out this podcast with Bubba McDaniel.
Yeah,
a legend
big MMA
around
fighter,
this area.
Yeah, Bubba. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a server at B-Dubs, man, I love being
love
at
him,
table.
Love him or hate him, you're still going to want to listen to what he has to say.
Exactly.
And that's what I told Eric. I said, man, we got to have somebody on here that's going to start us off with a bang. And that's what we did. And then each and every week, minus a couple of episodes, I mean, me and Eric was just by ourselves a couple of different times. And our podcast even hang in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys got personality. You have a theme. You have an idea. Right. The fact that you have different guests means you're sociable people. Yeah. Which, I mean, you saw, shout out to the OG Joe Rogan. He had different guests on at all times. You know, if it was it's not just a health podcast or a comedy podcast or a MMA. A lot of times people put a label on themselves, and there's so much more than that label. Right. You know, like you guys asked me, what do I want to be considered as when I come on here? And that was a hard question because, you know, there's a lot of things I do. Exactly. Ultimately, I'm me. But I think the direction that it's headed and with the ideas you have and the fact that you guys are receptive to ideas is important. It's like with musicians. They're not singing the same style 10 years ago. They adapted. So most of the times people want to force their brand, not realizing that they don't even know what their brand is themselves. But the Full Load Podcast, great name.
Appreciate it.
Great fucking name.
Hey, that's it.
I'm going to be honest. It's a double entendre. I was like, is this truckers? Or is this something else? Because I'm a 90s baby and I grew up with trauma. Like, what is this? But once it registered.
Because we want to bring you the full story, the full load. We are truckers.
That's perfect.
Of course, the full load also has to do with the full load of electricity coming down. It has nothing sexual.
Yeah, of course, but you know, people are going to take it that way.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it great too, because it adds that extra. Like I know you guys are truckers. It's just funny because I could tell my girl I'm going to the Full Load Podcast, and she'd be like,
"What?"
And then I have one earlier, and she's like, "No, shut up." You know.
But I tell you this, I told Jimmy, man. I said, man, I think like, you know, we had a couple names. We had Diesel Mafia. Well, we had two names, Diesel Mafia, and then Full Load, and I was like, man, the Diesel Mafia, man.
Sounds like I need to pay my dues.
Yeah, exactly, man.
Yeah.
And that's what we both thought about that. And
Great
it was
name.
like, great name, but it was like, man, it sounded like we some,
What
we
image?
we some gangsters over here with, the back in the day gangsters. So
You
it's
have
like,
Al Pacino sitting here.
Yeah,
I like to
exactly.
move full loads of cash.
Yeah.
What I wanted was a name that is, it's us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's us, because I mean, if I went with Full Load, there's already 4 different podcasts that called the Full Load, Fully Loaded, 4 or 5 different podcasts. I wanted something that wasn't taken yet,
Yeah.
because you got a million freaking podcasts out there right now.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them are inactive, some of them are still, plucking them away and
You
stuff.
can tell who's putting in work and who's not.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. But I wanted something that's, if you go on to Spotify and you search the Full Load podcast,
Yeah.
there's only one that pops up.
Yeah. Your SEO looks good too. Your search engine online. No, that's the smart. I was joking. Like, if I ever just start a podcast, I'd just be the Tiny Load podcast. We can make that like the parody channel. I can run that, do the comedy.
Yeah.
But no, I was gonna say that you guys are on the from an outsider looking in. It looks good.
I appreciate it.
You guys are not boring people. It's not hard to have a conversation with you. I think that's another thing, is a lot of these people think it's a cash grab and I can start a podcast, but it's like, can you captivate an audience? Can you talk to people? Can you relate to people?
Yeah.
Or are you just here to spill your bullshit and then get off and then
Right. We are amazed every week, because we got people that take the time and listen to what we got to say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I told Eric, I said, we must be doing something that is entertaining, captivating. I mean, because we got these people coming in and they're listening to us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we went out to our place, Eatery and Spirits, and we had no guest on.
Yeah.
Right? We were just playing Christmas music, hanging out. We talked to a couple of people out there that were selling things and stuff like that. And we still had a really good turnout on that podcast.
Yeah.
It's like I told Eric, I said, we're doing something right.
The dynamic and the energy is correct.
Yeah.
I relate this to, you remember when you were younger and you'd hear a song for the first time, or maybe your favorite radio host, and something about their voice and how they delivered it would make you gravitate towards that song or that radio show. That type of charisma is what makes people gravitate towards you, and that's what you all have. You have the right charisma for it.
Appreciate it.
It's not I probably, let me know how my views do on this podcast. Be easy, guys. My voice might ruin it all.
No.
But I don't care either way. I'm gonna sleep good. But it's about being passionate and also just being you. A lot of times people are putting on a front, trying to be something they aren't. You see that in the music industry. You see that almost in every industry. So to be organic and natural in a time when a lot of people are scamming and being fake is refreshing. And longevity wise, that will last, because you can only get fooled so many times before you're like, all right, I'm done eating at Hooters. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Jimmy had gave his pointers on it, but I think like the people that's being out here fake, and there's a lot of people that's are. So I mean, it's just only a matter of time till you get caught up into that. So I think like we go back to not only when Jimmy was introducing the Manscaped and stuff like that, but when we doing our giveaways.
That's the Full Load for 20% off.
There you go. So we're giving our giveaways, and like I said, man, the giveaway for those, you choose those shoes, man. This is legit giveaways. I know there's a lot of people out there. Our haters are sitting there, oh no, they not. Somebody's winning those January 1st and next Sunday.
Here's the thing.
That's the thing.
When we pick a winner, they pick what they want, what their size is. We're gonna turn in the order, and then once Nike ships it to us, we're gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
And
we're not bullshitting.
And then we're gonna have you on the podcast, even if it's a video or we meet you up and you're getting your.
You're gonna get some dude from India though. Promise you. I did a giveaway for one of my brother's Mellow helmets. And that situation happened, and it was fine. But I can't blame people for thinking it's too good to be true because
Yeah.
there's people who've ruined that. But like,
And that's unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but that, you know, not only that, you know, with the giveaways, just with the people that we had on with the fentanyl, with the Brandies and Brandy Mello story and the Jessicas and stuff like that, is giving back to the community, and that's what we're trying to do, and giving that platform first. And that's one thing when we started this is what me and Jimmy said, man. We're going to, you know, give it out to Wichita Falls, and then we're going to expand out.
Yeah.
But, you know, giving anybody that platform to say what they got to say, talk about what they want to talk about, if it's trauma, tragedy, or just, you know, you coming in as a entrepreneur. You know,
That's
I know you don't want to be saying that, but
things.
you got a man of many things. You got a man of many businesses. But, you know, just coming on and just expanding your brand and being like, hey, man, this is who this person is. You know, this guy doing not only T-shirts, man, he can come up with graphics. He can design a logo for your business.
I just like
with
creating.
The yeah, I mean, you do a lot of stuff. So that's the things. I mean, that's what I get out of this, man, is giving you guys opportunity to express yourself and giving you a platform. So that's what I told Jimmy, man. It's like, man, it's great that we're allowing people to do this. Not only we having fun at this.
Yeah.
It's not coming in and like, damn, this is a job.
Yeah, there wasn't a sense of like regret when you guys, you know, like you'll see people are like,
nah.
All right, Bob, you're 15 years at Best Buy. How you doing?
Yeah.
You know, like,
No, we talk to each other each and every day during the week, and when we come in and do this podcast, of course, we're having a little liquid encouragement.
Yeah,
we're having fun, man.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it's about, and we started this back in August this year.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what 2023 is going to bring?
Exactly.
I told him the ceiling's off, man. Like, here's the thing. Now, we're not going to give people our numbers, but listen, what we accomplished in I would say 5 months, because December didn't count. It was from August to November. So August to November, man, it's just crazy. Mm-hmm. And like you said, that's how we got.
This is a big company. this company right here is only sponsoring Big Dog Podcast.
Of course. Yeah. You have to
Joe
have the
Rogan,
that show.
Two Bears, One Cave, Kill Tony.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the list goes on. Yeah. And for them to take time and believe in us and give us a shot, I mean,
do you know why that is, though? It's because y'all show consistency.
I appreciate that.
If I was a brand, I would want consistent people sponsoring. So it makes sense. You guys have put your nose to the grind and done what you need to do. It's great. You know, I recently got back into shirts. January, so almost a year. And It's Pushin Prints. Pushin Prints.
And how can they get a hold of you?
So I have my site coming up January 15th. But if you're a local of Wichita Falls and you know me, you can add me as Jeffery Guill.
Show them your Facebook. Shirt, brother. I came up with this part of the logo. It was originally a Fat Man logo. I wish I brought my logo on there. He changed this up to include Eric's beard, Eric's hat, and he added the fonts to it. God, this guy is talented.
I started Photoshop when I was 10, but whether it's like hand drawn, because I'm like a pencil and pen artist, and then I'll scan it in and I'll edit. But that's always been like just a love of mine, you know. So to me, it's work, but it's not work in the same context that 9-to-5 people have, in a sense of like, if I'm lazy, I don't get paid.
Exactly.
So I have to, like, they're like, oh, it must. One of my friends was like, must be nice working for yourself. You get vacation whenever you want. I'm like, no, motherfucker, I work 24/7.
That's what
whether
they
it's
understand.
3 a.m. or 7 a.m. or 5 p.m. or 11 p.m. Like, my essence is my work. So, like, it's nice. Yeah, it sounds nice, but it's not a vacation. That doesn't come till I put my nose down for 3 to 5 years, and then I can be like, okay, I'm going to Thailand and I'm taking my people with me. Like,
but I think that's the thing that people they don't understand. They think they don't see behind the scenes. They just see what they want to see, and they think like, oh man, you making all this money and you doing all this, but they don't see behind the scenes. It's 24/7. Owning your own business or doing what you do, that is a 24/7 job, man.
Yes,
and it's not you do something and you doing shirts and You just go to sleep and you got all this time, like you said, you're going on vacation. No, it's not.
No.
Most people that's entrepreneurs that's on their own, they probably haven't taken a vacation in years.
My brother's one of them. 5 years. Finally
Yeah.
took his first vacation. He could afford a good one.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know how he did it. He had a wife and kids, and he's doing his own business. I don't have an excuse, or at least in my mind, I have no excuse for why I shouldn't be at a higher level, because my only responsibility currently is myself. I'm a single. Well, I'm not single. I'm dating. But I don't have kids, you know, and thankfully my girlfriend is an entrepreneur as well, so like she gets me, and it's not an issue, like dealing with that two different sides of things. But yeah, once you take that vacation though, you still gotta pay taxes.
I think
That's a whole nother game, man.
Exactly. I think that really, you know, the COVID back in a couple of years that happened, I think that opened up a lot of people's eyes. But I think that a lot of people that had businesses, plans of owning their own business, you know, they probably got it slack from their spouse saying that they couldn't do it, or their significant other. But I think when COVID hit, it put a lot of people lost their jobs, and they had to sit there and say, hold on,
okay, what?
I got to start a business here.
Yeah.
But I think having a spouse or having a girlfriend or whoever that believes in you, because that's the number one thing.
It's important.
It's very important. If you don't have that person to believe in you, and they're sitting up there talking about, I don't believe in this, why, and being negative Nancy, it's going to be, I'm not going to say it's not going to work. It's going to be hard to work, because now you're dealing with the home and dealing with, why can't you believe in my dream? And I think sometimes, like I said, you just got to go out there and get it. You just got to go out there and say, hey, listen, I can't listen to what you're saying. I got to go out here and I got to do it. And then now you see the back end of it. If it becomes successful, then it's like it's a win-win. But I think you got to have that. I think Jeff Bezos or whoever these big guys is.
Yeah, before he divorced his wife.
I think they didn't have, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. No, they believed and said, hey, even if she didn't believe, she told him that shit. And he believed and said, hey, man, I got to go out and try it. So I think. So
it is free to believe in somebody, bro.
So if there's anybody out there that want to start something, and like I said, I give shout outs to, who was that? Is it Luna? Was it Michelle?
Oh, yeah.
Is it? Okay, I want to get the name right. These people that's open up these non-profit organizations, man, for this fentanyl stuff, man. I think it's great, man. These guys are coming out and they're saying, hey, listen, I can make a difference.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people that are saying, what can I do? And they're just sitting quiet. But I think people like that that's opening up these non-profit organizations, man, and helping the community, man. I think, like, man, my hat goes off to you guys. Yeah. And not only with you guys, with the deep end and y'all doing y'all comedy. Y'all are trying to bring something to Wichita Falls. The one thing that I tell Jimmy all the time, Wichita, listen, if there's nothing to do, if y'all don't have nothing going on, everybody open their gifts, everybody's eating food, man, come out to the deep end at 9 o'clock, man. Come support these guys. Come support what they do. If there's something else going on at Our Place Eatery, which I don't know, which is a good sponsor to this podcast.
Yeah, they're great. We do open mic there on Mondays,
Yeah, so if they got something going on, man, go support these guys, man. Take the family out, man, have a good time. Wichita Falls, I love you guys, man. Let's go out and support local talent, man. And, you know, we don't have to go to Dallas. We don't have to go to Oklahoma City all the time, man. There's good local talent here, so we can go support those guys.
Yeah. $7 at deep end, that covers all the video games you want to play. Me and my wife, we played a little zombie game and shit like that last time we were out there. Until the show started, and of course we were front and center for the whole entire show.
I had to stare you down. It was great though. I always laugh when someone's playing the Terminator game in the background and I have to roast them. I have to be like, hey, John Connor can wait, man. You can save us later, you know.
Yeah, I need to go. I thought y'all was at the other place. I thought y'all was at the
old trailer. Or it's the new one next to the center across from Walmart now.
Yeah, that's what Jimmy had said. He said y'all at
I
it's
thought such a better location.
I thought you was at the old bar right there. Yeah, it used to be dope.
Yeah. The old location was dope, but this is definitely an upgrade. Excuse me, an upgrade.
Okay.
And just the staff is good. Jason is a military veteran as well. Very, very smart. Definitely a partier. Good guy overall, though. But, like, he really is the one that gave kind of comedians in town a shot. So the guys who consider themselves comedians who have kind of put the time in, we always kind of pay our respects to Jason at the deep end. I know there's a lot of people who want to do comedy, want to kind of set up events, but at the end of the day, I think it's, You just gotta hire the right group of people if you're looking for that type of event, and just see who's putting out the content. The proof is in the pudding. You know, I could go to you guys all day and be like, yeah, I'm an artist and I make shirts, but until I physically show you something, you're just taking my word for it. So,
Sure. Yeah.
you know, a lot of times it's show me. You know, I believe like you're allowed to show me.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to keep it secret. You guys do a podcast. See the podcast room. I'm not going to be like, all right, are they going to harvest my liver when I come over here? Is this a setup, you know?
Nah, I tell you this, man. Not only, man, shouting out to you, man. To people, you need to listen to this guy, or you know, at least give him opportunity. If you got any shirts that you want to do, banners,
Stickers.
stickers.
Yeah,
This dude
posters.
does it all. I think I seen something that he had backpacks. He can print
Yeah.
on backpacks. I was there. I was in his side,
You seen
his
the shop,
workshop.
the dungeon. Yeah.
I seen it with my own eyes, man. That's when I knew. I said, man, the Full Load podcast. Every time and I told Jimmy when you did some stuff and you showed the logo, and I was like, man, this guy, I think he's legit.
When are you gonna start doing hats, man? I
talked to him about.
Yeah,
I got
he already
prices
talked to
on
me
them.
about it.
I got prices on them. That's something I gotta outsource currently. But you know, 2023 looks like a blessed year with some revenue, so I might be able to upgrade. But
because you got to get a separate hat press to do the natural curve and all that stuff.
so there's a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I like 3 styles, and I'll educate those viewers on this, just so they know in the future. So what I do is heat transfer, which is different from screen printing. Screen printing uses layers, like 3 different layers and different colors, to make the design in plastisol, which is a nice. Don't quote me on this, but plastic paint. So it has a lighter feel on it. It kind of does have like a sticker feel, kind of like heat press. Those are great. Usually people use those for simple designs that are like 3 colorways, or like those marathon shirts you see where they have all the different sponsors.
Yeah.
Those are for those guys. There's DTG, which is one of my personal favorites for kind of like picture designs in fabric. There's a great place called Ranch Swag out in Henrietta. I work with them a lot on their designs. Those are for people who are restricted to a certain like area on the shirt, and say they want a design and they don't want to really fill it. They can do that. I will eventually be getting to that kind of design, but I also don't mind not dealing with the hassle of doing it because it is kind of a tedious process. And then there's the heat transfer, which I take quality vinyl that usually lasts up to 5 to 8 years, depending on the material, and I print and I transfer a heat on it. And that works really well for placing anywhere on your shirts, like if you want the sleeves done, you want something on the bottom, or if you don't want to be charged for a bunch of colors. So like I have a lot of great artists like Steven Rogers who does like that Avatar, James Cameron stuff artwork. Like obviously you need a lot of colors for that, so I will print his stuff on there. In turn, make stickers and posters, but it's about branding. You know, like I'll have clients that are worth like a substantial amount of money, and I'm gonna charge them a certain rate. But then I also see the guys who are on the come up trying to build.
Sure.
And I'll help them as well. And the reason I do this, rather than deal with like everyone at once and have like a client base, is because I want to see each one of my clients grow. Because in turn, if you grow, I grow with you.
Exactly.
Even though I do my own stuff, it just makes sense logistically. With your podcast, you have different guests. Why would I not make shirts for different areas, different backgrounds, different people? Whether it's a sports team, it's a comedy team, it's a restaurant, it's this mother who has her son's birthday party. You know, like I can do that. Or you got a memorial piece. You know, so like. Not everyone wants to pay $25 for a shirt, to be honest with you, and it just makes sense. But not everyone knows the designer of that company.
Sure,
So now you know the designer, and the guy, it's like you're my like I'm on call. You guys know. You guys can call me and hey, what do you need? Yeah, I can make sure it's done by there. And the reason I do that for people is because they show me that respect and they trust the direction I'm trying to move it. It's when I have people ask me 12,000 questions and then say their homie can do it, that I'm like, go to your homie.
Exactly.
Right.
And I tell you this, and I'm going to give you a shout out too, man, because I brought what, 8 pieces to you, and I said, hey, we gonna go live on Facebook Sunday, which is Christmas Day,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, can I at least get one hoodie done?
Yeah.
And the next day you called me the next morning. Yeah, well, Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Because I dropped them off the 23rd,
Like
and you
10
said,
o'clock, yeah.
yeah, you said, hey man, I got one, I got
Pick
it
it
ready,
up.
and I came and met you. So like I said, this guy's not no joke, man.
No.
So Jimmy, he's not no joke.
Nope.
Now, there's no way. I mean, you gotta be realistic. Don't bring him 40 pieces in talking about you gotta have them done in 2 hours. That's that's. I don't know if I'm speaking
That's at least
for him.
72 hours.
Yeah,
man. Come on.
But
Yeah,
I just asked him. I said, it ain't no big deal. I said, if you can. I said, and I chose one shirt, and I said, hey, this if you can't print this, but if you can't, no big deal. And man, you made it happen. And that's when I said, hey, this dude legit, man. He's official the guy for us, man. So
Pushin
that's what I like
Prints.
about it. Pushin
Yes, sir.
Prints. Pushin
Have
Prints.
it up January 15th. I'll have my website where you can basically buy my hosted clients, as far as like I have different comedians up there. I have an OnlyFans girl who I make her merch for. You can go to her site or my site and buy their merch, but I also have inquiries on how to get your own merch made and
What's
even
her name?
distributed.
Let me write that down.
CC.
No, I'm playing.
Emerald Hayes got cake. I'll shout her out. She's dope, bro. She literally just smashes cake with her butt on OnlyFans.
What?
Which I was like, damn, I'm out here cooking chicken Alfredo and shit, and she out here just mollywopping cakes with her ass. Like, damn,
I've seen.
I should have thought of that.
I've heard of people on that site just showing feet, toes.
My
whatever,
brother sold feet pictures, bro. I don't want to even.
and making a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not knocking them.
No,
but
no.
I'm like, man, how crazy.
The girl who farts in a jar and sells it for $50K.
Yes.
You know what I tell my parents when they call me up and they go, "You gonna get a career?" I said, "Not until this bitch who's fucking farting in jars for $56K." I said, "You know that there's no reality anymore. Like, you legitly, if you want to be a podcaster, put your mind to it and fucking do it, and you'll do it as long as you are sincere in what you're doing." Because if you're fake, it's going to come to light and it's all going to come down. And it's going to be no one's fault but your own.
Right.
It's like with those FTX crypto investor people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the world we're in a transitional period right now. We're becoming the old people that are eventually going to run government, that are going to be in charge of a younger generation.
Oh man, can you imagine me as president?
Hey, I'll be your VP. Jimmy and Jeff.
I can come up. I can give them that look.
Yeah, and I'll be
Like I
he's
did
not
at the
mad.
comedy
That
store.
stone cold look.
He's not mad. He's just thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tell
And
you
he
this.
thinks y'all should chill.
Chill.
I tell you this, man. Like you said, man, it is crazy that you can do pretty much anything you put your mind to and put it up for sale, and you can make money off of it.
It's scary
It's
though.
scary.
It's scary.
Crazy. It's crazy.
It's scary at first, but you also have to have an honest look at yourself, because a lot of people hear that and they think, "Oh, I can go do it," and this gets me a lot of heat sometimes. But put it in layman terms, when you go to an art show, you can tell when someone's put 2 hours into their painting and when someone's put 200 hours into their
We've
painting.
seen it.
So you need to ask yourself, are you the guy who's going to put 2 hours in, or are you the guy who's going to put 200 hours in?
Yeah.
And the answer
He said,
is,
"We
you want to
seen
be
it."
the guy who puts 200 hours
Listen,
in. You know?
Jimmy know what I was talking about when I said we seen it, man. I seen the guy. I ain't gonna mention his name. I don't even know his name, but he was selling some painting.
LeBron.
LeBron James. And,
Did it look like Ramon at least? I've seen some
It
good
looked like he was in a car wreck and broke his jaw.
So I tried that one time. I drew Marilyn Monroe, or I painted Marilyn Monroe. She looked like Michael Jackson. I was like, shit.
How much you sell it for?
I didn't sell it because I knew better.
Exactly. This dude,
Yeah.
LeBron James.
I burned it.
I asked him. I said, "Hey man, that look good in the studio or the shoe room." I said, "Man, tell me how much you want for that." He said, $500.
I got a $500 painting for you. That's worth $500.
I was like, bruh, this.
It's being realistic.
LeBron's jaw was all crooked, and it's like I can draw that. And I'm like, bruh, I don't know where you get 500 at. Hopefully you get it, but not for me.
Art is subjective, and a lot of times, I don't know if people know this. Poor people sure don't. Rich people buy art for tax evasion. I don't know how to tell you all that in the first place. Like that $10,000 sculpture wasn't really worth $10,000. It's just Bobby Lee needed a tax write-off. Like,
Exactly.
like-
Because I see some of the stuff when we're
Yeah.
talking about abstract art where they just throw a bunch of paint or they let that dog roll into a.
I
some
just
paint.
as an artist, as someone who's grown up doing art, I have a kind of snob. I'm an art snob. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna pretend like everyone's art's good, but it will piss me off to see people do the bucket of paint and then let it swirl.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
what he
sell
was
it for
talking about.
$5,000.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know a friend, Steven Rogers. Check him out on Instagram, y'all. He literally did the work for like Diablo 4, concept artist, great dude. And his paintings are like 2,000, and they're lifelike. So it's like, it also goes back to though, are you in the right place for people to appreciate you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be in the right place, because I seen that. Like I said, they put the paint cans on the pigeon and from a string or rope from the ceiling, and they push it and let that paint just drip out and go across the canvas. And
that's an arts and craft. That's cool. My stay-at-home fucking mom could do that. I get it, you know.
If you're in high school or starting out, cool.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna sell that motherfucker for $500,
if you're gonna ask for money and do it as a profession, it should look professional.
People pay for it, man.
Yeah. Hey, listen, my friends will loan me money too and pretend I sold some shit. I get it. They buy my stuff because they support me. But
like I said, man, I mean, being a Christmas Day, guys. Like I said, I hope you out there, celebrating with your family and doing good things and with family and friends. And like I said, man, I want to thank old Jefe. Man, you coming in at a short notice, man, but you had told me, and like I said, meeting you, man, you was just genuine off the top, man. I mean, I knew that. I said, yeah, we got to get this guy on. And like I said, you came on with short notice. And like I said, man, you just a very interesting guy. You what was that, the second commercial? Very interesting.
Most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, man, there you go, man. That's who you are, man. That's how I consider you, man. Because like I said, you got so many things that's going on, man. And that's what I like about you. I see a lot of myself in you, man. And I told you that when I was over your house.
I have to do it for all those guys who are married with kids, man. I have to get to the top, okay? So I can do it for everybody. But I do appreciate you guys having me out here. It's a dope setup.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
So if they want to reach out and get T-shirts and whatnot, how they reach out to you?
For now, for this current podcast, y'all, since you know the Full Load podcast and y'all are good friends with this group, you can add my personal Facebook, which is Jeffery, Jeffery, and my last name is Guil, Guill. Just message me and say you're here about shirts. You heard me from the Full Load podcast, and I'll be sure to take care of you. If you're messaging me now on this platform, just know you're developing a personal relationship with me, so I will be texting you good morning and good night. But I'll get work done, so I appreciate it. More to come January 15th. I'm sure I'll come on some other time in the future. If the views are good and people are like, yo, that Jefe guy, he ain't half bad, I'll show up. But I appreciate it.
You've been a really good guest, man. We appreciate you stepping in at Christmas and everything. I mean, me and Eric obviously don't have a life. We're sitting here doing this podcast. No, not really. We're enjoying this podcast, and like I said, we're trying to stay consistent. And this happens to fall on the very same day that we're doing the podcast. Christmas.
Have me on next Christmas, man. We'll see where I'm at in a year.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
So,
what are you doing this Christmas, Jefe?
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
bought a house in Miami.
Well, Jefe, we appreciate you, man.
Well, hope you invite us to the house.
Of course. You're doing the podcast there. What are you talking about?
There you go.
But I appreciate it, Jimmy.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Eric.
Man, Merry
Y'all
Christmas.
stay safe out there.
Love you guys, man. So check it out. If you want to support your local podcast, you go to the Full Load Podcast at youtube.com. Subscribe, download. This is our very first video today, guys. We love you guys. You can send us an email at thefulload@gmail.com. You can check us out on Facebook at Full Load Eric Mays. Put the pedal in the metal and take us home.
Man, like we say, we hustle and grind like there's no tomorrow, because tomorrow don't exist. Until next time, we out.